It's finally that time,
It's time.
Stephen Sheffield.
Yep.
Here we are, May 7th, 2019. This is the second accumulation of our entire League of Legends kind of event that we've been going on for the last couple of months. Everything that these children, all of these students have put in, the time, the effort, the practices, it's all accumulating tonight for Rockbridge High School and Hickman High School. One are defending champions from last year. Many of those students, also seniors, their last chance to go home with a 3-peat. Rockbridge High School already won last year's League of Legends District Championships, the Overwatch District Championships, and now a time to go for a 2-peat or 3 trophies essentially to put in their case. But here we are, though, in Hickman Auditorium one more time. This is where it all began, ladies and gentlemen. October of 2017, the first time that we ever had a match was here in this auditorium. And tonight, we're back here again, and it's really accumulating something incredible. A lot of these students on the stage tonight, they've been here from the beginning.
Yeah.
A lot of in the first games that we saw, believing in this program, and Hickman High School here to, retake that throne, retake the crown, because we're here in their home house. They went in the regular season with a 13-3 record, coming out with the first seed, not dropping a single game yet in playoffs, and they have everything to prove up against one of the strongest teams that we have ever seen, or Rockbridge Green, who looked very incredible 2 weeks ago against the sister Hickman team.
Absolutely, yeah. I think tonight, Hickman's going to want to play as best as they can for their home crowd and try to get that trophy. And they've been pretty unstoppable the whole season, honestly.
And for those of you at home, we have it right here, thanks to Officer Shinobi Kent. Every year we said that the trophy would get bigger and better, and we're not going to let you down this year. This is definitely bigger than last year's trophy.
There it is.
There it is. That's pretty exciting. What teams are playing for today? Again, all of you guys at home, thank you guys for tuning in throughout the entire season. This means a lot not only to these kids, but also to the program here. This is the first and the only live LAN League of Legends season, high school esports season league ever in the entire nation. And again, these kids here who are majority of seniors. I think actually every single student tonight competing on stage is a senior. They will be moving on to different endeavors, whether they want to pursue competitive esports in college, whether they want to go and just, they got a bunch of opportunities.
Sure, yeah, whatever they want to do, honestly. This is such a great opportunity for high school students. It's something that, like you were saying, it's not offered anywhere else. And I would have loved to have something like this when I was in high school 10 years ago.
Yeah, all we can say over and over again is what could have been if we were back in high school right now. But before we go ahead of ourselves, again, I'm Ben Brooks, again, co-founder of Ukatsu, that helped put all of this together. Stephen Sheffield, he'll be the co-caster with me tonight in this incredible matchup. But before we go forward and we jump into game, we have a little bit of a short video that we want to show you guys that recaps the 2019 season and hopefully kind of captures not only the essence of what these kids have gone through, what their feelings are, and kind of their thoughts on the season, but also what high school esports really means to a lot of these kids and to students potentially around the country. So, again, thank you guys for coming out to this event. Thank you to our sponsors, Hawthorne Bank, Veterans United, Armstrong Teasdale, Columbia College, and Division D for making this entire league possible. So, without further ado, we're going to send it over to that video, and stay tight because we got a lot of League of Legends tonight to be played.
Okay, whenever. I'm Joey Barbas. I am the support for Hickman Purple, otherwise known as JoJo Bo.
They hit me on the head. There's a lot of new players competing today, competing tomorrow, and Friday, and I'm really ready for anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You heard that correct. We have 3 nights of League of Legends each week for the next 12 weeks, a part of our LAN High School Esports League, the only league in the nation that meets in-person, face-to-face. Teams are to my left, teams are to my right from 2 different schools. And you just said, we've got new players, we've got returning players. There are plenty of stories from past, present, and future that we will witness live on stage starting tonight.
What do I enjoy most? It's something totally different from anything else I experienced at Rockbridge in high school, and it kind of added, it spiced up the latter half of my high school career, and it was something that really allowed me to flourish in a different way than I have in high school. I made a lot of friends, and I found something that I think I'm actually really good at.
My favorite memory from the season is when I died as Nico.
Pull down to the team. Curtain Call does land and picks up a kill onto the Orianna. 17 Waves does drop though from Frozen Maelstrom. The rest of Hickman High School is diving under the tower. So far so good, losing only 1 member. Clean dive.
Oh,
almost.
2 members.
2 members, but it's still a triple kill for the Jin.
That was self-sacrifice, so I felt good.
Enjoy is definitely playing with my teammates, especially we started as a friend, like group of friends, and then we start playing the eSports league, which makes us like, get bonded a little bit more and more. So I feel like just playing with my friends are probably like the best part of playing the Ukatsu league.
The favorite memory was one of the first few weeks we were playing against Battle. I was able to get like a lot of my school friends come and watch, even though none of them play League of Legends. Got the whole squad out.
Their top player can absorb so much pressure.
Oh, this is gonna be
And it's the
another
Michael
triple
Dunkliner
kill.
show.
And he's got the bear.
And I think it was just a lot of fun to play for them.
It's really like the camaraderie between your teammates and like getting to play with your foes or your like adversaries, It's fun to be rivals with other schools, and you still get to be friends with them, even if they are your rivals, and that's the best part of it.
I think it was a big boost to my confidence. Early on in high school, I ran cross country, and while I learned a lot from cross country and I gained a lot of work ethic, I think that it was something I definitely wasn't good for in the fact that I'm not very fast. And I think it was cool having a sport that I really could excel at, and I got to be at the level that I wanted to be and achieve success in the way that I really hoped I could.
I think the big thing was it's a very different environment from just regular League of Legends. Like, you're playing on a team of team members where you've played like almost hundreds of games with them. So you have like synergies built up, like strategies. You know what your teammates are going to do, unlike solo queue where you can't really expect anything from your teammates. You just have to play selfishly. Whereas in the league, you can play selflessly. You can play for the team, and it can actually work. I think it showed me like a different side of League of Legends than I'd actually played.
I think I've learned a lot to like get my temper catched when I'm playing a game. Like, I will just not give up just by dying lane once or twice in lane. And I learned how to like look at the maps. I'll learn how to like do macro stuff, and I'll actually try hard to like learn how. And it was much easier since I had mentors and coaches to learn from. So yeah, that's what I feel like. I got some changes in Ukatsu.
I'll try to look for like a community similar to this one because it's pretty unique and something that I value.
It was the friendly community, definitely, and like the competitive, like just mood. It's nice to have that in high school, and like I really hope others get this experience.
That's all I got nothing else to say. More than anything, going into tonight, I think a lot of these kids will have a lot of memories to take
definitely.
with them. And more than anything, it's not just League of Legends or any other sport. It's not just soccer. It's not just football.
No.
But it really is a community that we've built, and it's something that I know will stick with these kids for the rest of their lives. And even us here, we don't get to play. We're kind of old.
Yeah.
We're past our primes
We
here,
are.
and we're a little washed up. But at the very least, this is something that I will always remember as something that's impacted me in my life. And I'm glad, though, that tonight, all of that aside, we get to really find out who's better. Bruins or
Right,
Cupies?
exactly.
Bruins or Cupies? Get everything else out of the way here. Bruins or Cupies? This tonight has been everything that we have ever asked for. It almost was a Hickman versus Hickman finals. And again, as much as Hickman would have loved to have seen that, Rockbridge versus Hickman, it's a timeless classic. I remember storming the field at Furrow Field for the Providence Bowl when I went to Hickman High School sophomore year. I remember it all. And these guys here, they're really setting the tone for what this rivalry, what this kind of the culture of this league is going to look like for years to come. And honestly, throughout the entire season, I usually have a pretty good prediction of who's going to walk away with the win. But tonight, I got no clue.
It's a pretty tough call. Both the teams are looking really strong.
We did vlogs, asked every single person around here who did they think was going to win. And again, Hickman High School coming in with a 13-3 record out of the regular season. Number 1 seed overall, into Rockbridge High School, who's coming in currently with an 11-5. I believe so only lost 2 different games, only down by 2 games compared to their counterparts tonight. They are the defending champions, so they know what victory feels like. They know what that tastes like, as well as Hickman High School, who actually fell short and didn't even make it to the finals last year. You know that they're hungry to prove themselves on stage for the last time. And for the last time tonight, I'll be saying we're going to be jumping into Champion Select as soon as we can for game number 1, because we got a best of 5 on our plate tonight. We got a potential of 5 incredible matches between Hickman High School and Rockbridge tonight, and I'm excited to get to it if you guys are. So Champion Select as soon as we're ready, because there's a lot going on tonight.
Oh, yeah, 5 games. I mean, it may not go to 5 games, but in a series like this, there's a lot of different things that can happen.
Yeah, your prediction-wise again, series?
I think that Hickman's going to take it 3-1. They've had a phenomenal season. They don't drop very many games. They typically smash their lanes. Rockbridge has some really good laners. Their bot lane in particular typically wins or goes at least even. So that'll be a place to watch for Rockbridge. But like I said, I think that Hickman's going to take it 3-1.
And I think that's the main thing to look for tonight, of course, from Hickman and Rockbridge's side. Hickman High School, obviously very, very strong in their solo lanes. Top laner, you can't forget Dark Cracker. Michael Zoe, he's incredible. You know, he reached Grandmaster at one point. We talk about him all the time.
Yes.
Bot lane for Hickman High School, also one of the scariest bot lanes I've ever seen. Matthew Gosubot Perkins, the 80 carry for Hickman High School, is so aggressive.
Yes, he is.
A little bit more of a hot or cold kind of player, though.
Sure.
When he's hot, you know, he's feeling himself. He's on top of things. When he's cold, you know, for Rockbridge High School, that's something they might want to take advantage of.
Definitely.
On the other hand, though, for Rockbridge High School, one of the most synergistic teams we have ever seen.
Yes.
A lot of these players played alongside each other in the Overwatch League as well, so they have experience. They know how to communicate with each other, and I think last week was a real test. Well, throughout the entire season, Rockbridge High School won many of their matches individually through their lanes. They didn't really have to push themselves for a late game. They really didn't have to worry about team fighting as much because they just rolled over other teams individually early on. And in Game 4 last week between Hickman Purple, they were pushed to a limit. It was very close. They lost Game 1 in the series, and going up 2-1 over Hickman Purple, it was a tough game. It was a very tough call. Hickman Purple made a couple of macro mistakes later on, but it was a different side of Rockbridge that we might have to get to see more of tonight. So it's very exciting because I don't really have a clear indication of who's going to win. But we're going to find out right now if we're jumping into Champions League.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, on the left side tonight, we do have our technical home team for tonight, that being Hickman Gold. On the right side, Rockbridge Green. Stefan, what are we doing tonight in this phase of the game for those in the audience who might not know that much about League of Legends?
This is the phase of the game where you choose what champions each player is going to play. Each team has 5. Each player controls 1 champion. So you're allowed to ban 5 different champions away from your opponents. So you'll select things that either you've played against in the past and gotten beaten by, or maybe it's something that your team struggles against. So right now we have Hickman banning away the Vlad and the Janna. We see a lot of Vlad bans, some Janna bans, but not a whole lot. And then, of course, the Zoe and the Darius getting taken away from Hickman.
Exactly. This is a game, again, that has over 146 different champions to be played. Imagine if you guys are playing other sports, you just get to pick a bunch of different players with different play styles and plug them into your team.
Exactly.
That's what these guys are deciding. It's very important because it will determine the strategy into each one of these games. The key bans, as you mentioned before, from Rockbridge High School, Zoe and Darius, take those away from Hickman in Game 1. Those are the comfort picks. Alec Alejero James is a monster on that Zoe.
Yes.
He climbed so far in just a short time in the solo queue line. And of course, Darius, the number 1 champion that Dark Quacker likes to play.
Yep.
It's take it away, right? It's a respect thing.
You can't let him have it. Not in the first game. We did pick up the Gangplank. We have seen him play Gangplank several times this season, and to varying degrees of effect. Just kind of depends on who he's laning against, it seems like, most of the time.
Yep, Hecarim being locked in for the top lane for Andrew. Vex Apostle, in the top side against Dark Quacker. Again, these guys have gone toe-to-toe multiple times throughout the season. As of all the top laners in the league, I know Andrew savors it. He loves going up against Dark Quacker more than any other top laner, and it's a matchup that he is not afraid of. And tonight we're going to have to find out. Skarner being selected by Peter, by the way. This is actually a champion that Hickman Gold has opted back on numerous times throughout the season. Actually, against playoffs, when they played against their sister team, Hickman Purple, or that was their kryptonite. Hickman Purple could not deal with this this Scorpion champion that really
Right.
goes in, and it's all about the tax, right? The Skarner
Exactly.
tax is what it's called. You got to buy QSS, you got to account for it, because this is a jungler that is going to be tanky and going to initiate fights and will eliminate one person out of your
Yeah,
comp,
he'll
no
just
matter what.
grab a carry and pull him back into his team, and they'll be gone.
Now, one answer that we do have here, we see 3 picks for Hickman High School that are maybe in response to Skarner. We don't know the order that they were picked,
Yeah.
as they were decided and determined in Pro Draft. But Sejuani, Lysandra, and Gangplank. Gangplank will allow you to negate all that CC, so you can't eliminate that. That's going to be a great pick into all the champions for Rockbridge. Sejuani and Lysandra, 2 champions with a lot of crowd control on their own side. That being slow, stuns, things that just really get in the face of the opponent and try to slow down that momentum. These ice champions really will also make it a little bit harder for Skarner to find those gauges and those picks if Hickman stays grouped.
And a lot of movement. Both Sejuani and Lysandra can move through walls. They both have a dash of some kind as well, so they're kind of hard to pin down, and they can easily get into the back line of Rockbridge's team. But right now, so far, all we have is Cassiopeia.
Yeah, big scaling damage. Jack Speak, that being Wham Lab, the mid laner for Rockbridge High School, has played that champion numerous times before. Scaling character, not as much easy to land CC, but eventually in the late game will be a terror to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Those twin fangs, they come out so fast.
Yeah, but otherwise, the rest of the comp going to come out here. I think Rockbridge. I was actually
Sivir
just
pick?
about to mention that. I expect a little bit of utility coming out from the AD carry position for Rockbridge. Sivir, again, you have the late game scaling damage, you have the wave clear, and you have the disengage as well. The ability to speed up or your opponents to engage, or yourselves, I should say, speed your team up to either engage or disengage, giving Hecarim a big boost and making these engages really, really terrifying. But I was really looking for that utility. I expected that, or maybe an Ashe to make these engages and these picks a little bit more lethal. And Rockbridge High School's comp looking very strong right now.
Yeah, very fast as well. On the other side, we have Hickman opted for the Jinx and the Lulu in the bot lane. Jinx being a hyper carry, scales great into the late game, and then with the Lulu, she's going to be very, very difficult to lock down.
And protect the AD carry comp for sure decided for Hickman High School. Again, that AD carry position, that's the DPS. That's the big hitter for other sports. That's your receivers. That's your strikers. That's who you want to keep alive. They're the ones that's really going to be the heart of this team for Hickman Gold. And for GoSubot, Matthew Perkins, he's got to keep himself alive. Luckily enough, he's got a lot of tools to protect him. He's got the CC, he's got the tanks, he's got the Lulu over top to keep him alive. And if he's able to, if he's able to stay alive, kite around the outside of these fights, it's going to be very, very difficult for Rockbridge High School to come away with these team fights.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they can keep Jinx away from the Morgana, the Skarner, the Hecarim, and the Cassiopeia, should be fine.
Yeah, what's most exciting, too, is that we are going to see 2 team fighting compositions here.
Yes.
We're not going to see too much split pushing. Maybe a little bit Darkwhacker up there in the top lane with Gangplank. Yeah, it's going to be hard to deal with in a 1v1. But for the most part, that means we're going to see a lot of action through the mid to late game. And what I'm really hoping for these 2 teams here is 2 squads that can be disciplined early on. They can keep themselves in check. They don't snowball the other teams. They're able to play slowly and collected, because their win conditions for both these teams will come in the mid game. They have to stay strong enough. They have to scale up to get the items necessary to either blow people up on Hickman's side if you're Rockbridge, right? It's all about picking people off out of position, keeping that vision game up. And for Hickman, it's all about scaling to the late game when your Jinx comes online so that she can just shred everyone and anyone that gets in your way.
Yeah, with the big AoE team fight comp that Hickman drafted, I mean, and they could have Gangplank split push, and if he has his ult up, he can still participate and do quite a bit in the team fight away from the fight.
Yes, and for anything else, though, before we get ahead of ourselves, we're going to send it over to our explainer video one last time tonight. For those of you in the audience or at home who are new to League of Legends, cheering on the QPs or the Bruins, this will maybe give you a little bit better idea of what the heck is going on tonight, as, again, we are on stage at Hickman Auditorium. This is the finals, and I couldn't be more excited. We're going to send it over right there in just a second.
On behalf of Ukatsu and Columbia Public Schools, we'd like to welcome you to this esports event. We understand a few of you may be new to League of Legends and esports, so here's a quick introduction. First things first, esports is specifically the competitive sector of video gaming, where teams recruit players to compete head-to-head, and in the past few years, it's been gaining a lot of traction. Big investment money is going into top teams to recruit the best professionals in the world. Celebrities like Shaquille O'Neal, Alex Rodriguez, Steve Aoki, and even Ashton Kutcher are putting money into professional teams or esports software. As the professional scene grows, so do the scenes underneath it. Colleges are now offering scholarships to talented players, and programs like Ukatsu are serving youth levels. eSports covers a wide variety of video game titles, but none are currently bigger than League of Legends, the games that these kids are playing today. League of Legends is a free-to-play, team-based computer game. This is the map, Summoner's Rift. Think of it as the field or court that every competitive game of League is held on. Teams start at 2 opposing corners of the map, and the game is won when one team successfully pushes all the way to the other team's base and destroys the main structure, called a nexus. There are 3 lanes on Summoner's Rift: a top lane, a middle lane, and a bottom lane, as well as a forested area between the lanes called a jungle. To get to the base, each team will have to deal with a number of defenses. This includes minions, defensive towers equipped with turrets, and of course, the opposing team members. Players on each team each control one character throughout the entirety of the match. They pick their characters before the match even starts, and with over 130 characters to choose from, each with their own unique abilities and attributes, finding the right blend of characters is vital to a balanced team composition. All players begin the match at level 1, with the same amount of gold to purchase items to boost their individual statistics. Killing minions and jungle monsters, destroying towers, and of course, killing enemy team players awards gold and experience points to level up and buy more powerful items. Teams must work together to earn gold, take down objectives, and ambush enemy players so that they can eventually reach the enemy nexus to win. Each match usually takes anywhere between 25 to 45 minutes, though close standstills can last even longer. We've only scratched the surface of what there is to know about League of Legends, but that should cover all the basics for now. Pay attention to what the play-by-play and color commentators have to say, and you'll pick it up in no time. Thanks for watching our introduction to League and eSports. We hope you enjoy the match.
And just in time, here we go to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Rockbridge High School, Hickman High School.
Game 1
is going to walk away with a victory tonight because this is the last game, last series, I should say, for both of these teams. And again, over and over again, you guys remember, if you guys are doing sports, if you guys are adults, when you guys walked onto the field the last time, it's your senior night, or maybe it's not, whatever it may be, and you're and this is it. And not just that, but this not only is your last game, but this is the biggest game of your high school career right now. It is the finals. One last time. You made it through all of the postseason. You performed in the regular season. Leave it all right now on the Rift because this is, honestly, again, the most important game of your career. And the red side, Rockbridge green. On the blue side, Hickman gold, our home team for tonight.
It looks like we're going to get an invade here. Starting off early, Rockbridge trying to get some vision, seeing if they can land a Morgana bind, but it just barely misses.
Yeah, keep it Hickman High School on their toes, making sure no one's AFK. We're all paying attention to the game, taking it seriously. Nathan Elmore not getting taken advantage of there by the leisurely owl, Sean Yu. He did just change his name, apparently, so there's that.
Yeah, no, that was a good play. Just trying to find vision, seeing if they can get a pick. That's a lot of times what you want to do when you have somebody with a lot of CC on your team at the beginning, level 1, like the Morgana. If you can get one of those binds, you can usually get an easy first kill or maybe a couple summoner spells burned.
Yeah, an early advantage is very important for both these teams. Again, our home team, Hickman High School, top lane, Michael Darkquacker Zoe in the jungle position, Nathan Elmore in the mid lane, Alec Alejero James, the man, the myth, the legend, and of course to round out the bot lane, we have Matthew Gosubot Perkins and Renee Cookie Tellman. This is your home team for tonight, Hickman High School. That's obviously, we're literally sitting in their auditorium, so we really couldn't get more home than this.
No, I mean, this is, do they have a little bit of home field advantage, do you think, because of the crowd?
Potentially. I'd argue that they do.
It sounds like they might.
I would definitely argue that they do.
So here in the top lane, we got a Gangplank, the Pirate, versus Hecarim.
And something that we talked about at the beginning of the game here, the early game is going to be very important for both of these teams to keep solid, right? Keep the cards close to your chest. Don't give anything away. Don't let either team snowball. Just play it cool, right? Play it cool, because nothing that you gain early on from taking any risky plays is worse losing this match. Both of these teams scale. It's all about the mid to late game. So don't give anything away early. Play objectively, keep that vision up, and try to take advantage of the enemy's mistakes. And I think for Rockbridge High School, they maybe have a better advantage there. They have the pick tools.
Yeah,
Well, for Hickman, it's going to take them a little bit longer for them to scale up to deal that damage that's necessary with that CC.
And Hickman's going to probably require a lot more grouping than Rockbridge might, because Rockbridge does have such a pick potential with the Skarner and the Morgana. They can also move very quickly. Oh, wow. There's a lot of damage coming down.
Yeah, look at the trades already. Andrew Apostle
using that corruption pot.
Taking a little bit of damage there. The oppression that he's going to be up against for Dark Quackers is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with, although we do know that Hecarim in the top lane is a lane bully himself.
And I mean, he's played against Dark Quacker enough times to know how to play it. He may lose some trades early on, but as long as he stays alive and keeps that CS up,
ooh, look at Hickman High School aware of the scuttle change.
No.
Trying to keep on top of Peter.
Predicted.
Look at the read. Alahara goes over the wall, but maybe now he's in a sticky situation. Here comes Dark Quacker, though, coming in from the top lane. That was well communicated by Hickman High School, forcing the flash from Peter. Peter, by the way. And that it will be a small victory for Hickman High School.
Absolutely.
The Summoner Spell and the Scuttle Crab. Again, that in this recent patch, 9.9, it does spawn at 3 minutes, so it's a little bit later now. And looked like Hickman was prepared for it, collapsing instantly onto Peter.
Getting that flash was huge, and it's also going to set him back in the jungle a little bit. And so he's not going to be able to make very many proactive plays for a few minutes here. Let's see, bot lane looking pretty normal so far. I mean, neither of these bot lanes really want to fight each other right off the bat.
I give the advantage in this bot lane specifically to Rockbridge High School. You have the wave clear coming out from the Sivir. That's a little bit harder for Gosubot to deal with without expending too much mana. And when you don't have the minions to hide behind, it opens up the alleyways right there for the Dark Binding that Leisurely Owl Sean you can throw out. That support champion can throw out that ability, bind them in place, and that's a huge amount of damage that you can deal over and over again.
Yes.
So I think Rockbridge High School's bot lane will have the advantage for the majority of the time early on.
Especially pre-level 6. Once Lulu hits level 6, it'll be a little bit different. She'll be able to buff the Jinx and kind of knock everybody off of her. But until then, they're just going to have to play as safe as they can.
And even through that oppression, though, they've pulled ahead to a slight farm lead.
Yeah.
You see the numbers right there on the bottom of your screen next to the players' names, 31-28. Slight farm lead for Hickman High School's bot lane. Slight gold lead in general, actually, 7.3 thousand to the 6.9. So
they're up about 400 gold.
Yeah, that's cheer-worthy. You just say they're farming it out. They're playing their early game cool, and you're finding a lead. That's all you can do right now. And I think for both these teams who are talented, they understand how the game works from the bottom up, mechanics-wise, teamwork-wise. Honestly, it's going to be very important just to
they
to
found
not
Peter
make any
again.
mistakes. But other way
Able to
around,
get
found the Hickman jungler this time around.
That's
He
right.
gets over the wall. Nathan Elmore does escape without having to burn a summoner, so that's also good.
Being able to just go over the wall.
And 5 minutes and 40 seconds into this game, nothing's happened yet. I'm okay with that.
I mean, we got a flash. They're still just farming it out, which is exactly what they're playing their comps correctly. They're playing to their win conditions nearly perfectly.
And I think that's a very important point that we talk about all the time, your win conditions.
Yeah.
And how often do we see teams kind of forget those every now and again?
Now and again,
you're playing
you
a split pushing comp, and then all of a sudden you stop split pushing, right? Like that's the craziest thing I have ever heard of, but it happens all the time, and especially on stage right here when you have some pressure, when you know that tensions are high, there's a lot on the line. I got people in the audience that I've never met before. I heard the soccer team is in the audience. I'd be like, whoa, wait a second. That's a whole other crowd here. All pick up from Gangplank on the opposite side of the map here. Trying to find an engage on the bot side. Nathan Elmore dashes forward, forcing the flash from both support and the AD carry for Rockbridge High School, but now they are on the retreat.
Not able to get anything.
That victory, it's still a moral victory they got there. Morale, whatever you want to call it, forcing that summoner spell. Gosubot, of course, as his nature, did flash forward aggressively, so kind of negating that trade flash for flash, as well as burning the ultimate in the top side. And just like that, Peter Kim is also putting on a gank in the top side. Maybe not yet. Secret gank, sitting in a bush, trying to see if Dark Quacker Michael Zoe will walk out too far, overextend himself, and be an easy catch.
Looks like he's going to back off.
Yeah, not quite. Teams will be hitting level 6 very shortly. Level 6 is the level they get their fourth ability, their ultimate ability. That really is the identity of most of their kits, most of these champions. And so I'm expecting things to start picking up tempo here in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Skarner was trying to do a lane gank up there, but sometimes those are hard to do. Didn't have vision, so he just decided to leave. Oh, he's coming back,
Keeping
though.
the pressure up there again. He does know that Nathan Elmore on Sejuani will clear a little bit slow. He has a little bit of time if he's clearing the top side of the map, so maybe they're going to try to make this gank work. He is not level 6. He's going to check the bush. Predator popped. He's going to get stunned in place. Here comes the
Oh,
ultimate
the
engage
ultimate.
coming out from Andrew
Ignited.
Apostle. He's going to flash through the wall.
Oh,
Fails
he
the
missed
flash.
Basil's flash.
Dark Quacker does not make it over the wall. That's going to be first blood, not quite secured. Oh, it is
Nelmore's
secured
there.
by Rockbridge High School.
That's gonna be a
Nelmore
double.
makes it there, and here comes Alec Alejero James coming in with the teleport. Nathan Nelmore flashes over the wall to escape. Now it's Alejero's in a
Trying
sticky
to go for
situation. Follows the glacial path and will escape, but that is a big pickup for
Oh,
Rockbridge High School.
I
Whoa.
don't know if they're going to be able to get out.
Oh, going for the grop here. Peter
He's still
not
hiding in the bush.
dissuade.
Oh my gosh,
Ultimate
though.
coming out from
so much
Alejero.
damage.
Teleport coming in from Dark Quacker. This is going to be the first team fight of the game. Nathan Elmore does re-engage, falling real low, but Wham Lab Jack
Wow.
Snake picks up a second kill. Dark Quacker
Oh
teleports and
my
picks up
goodness.
one more kill himself, and that's a 2-2 start. Look at that action.
That was-
wow. There we go. And things are
Yeah.
starting to pick up the pace. As we said, level 6, ultimates
Yep.
being burned left and right.
That was a lot of communication. They played that really, really well. The only thing there, Dark Quacker failing his flash, but still, it looks like he's going to be able to turn this around.
A little parlay at the end for
Yep.
good measure. Andrew is going to narrowly escape the red buff
Yeah.
burn. Ooh, very close.
That was real close. But yeah, that was a great fight up in the top lane. That's exactly what you want to see from your mid laners and junglers.
Yeah, staying on top of things, watching the map, being aware, following up, very important. 2 summoner spells burned by Hickman High School, though they will not have teleport. It looks like Rockbridge does not either.
Yeah, and here in the bot lane, just business as usual. They don't get to participate in any of that top lane fun.
Oh, but look at the farm difference.
Yeah.
Go Subot. Matthew Perkins of Hickman High School is now down by 20 CS. Now, for comparison, about 15 farm is equivalent to about 1 gold's worth
Sure.
of kills. Again, gold is the name of the game here. Kills, objectives aside, well, objectives are important, but gold
Right.
is how you get items. Gold is how you get stronger, essentially. And gold lead
Go ahead,
still
donate the
in
blue
favor
buff
of Hickman High School.
over to Wham Labs so he can regen some of that mana. Cassiopeia does like to just kind of sling those abilities out. Same with Lysandra. Does not look like they're going to get the blue buff donated over on that side of the map.
And see, I wasn't sure at the beginning of this game. Were they going to play slow because they were first game's
Right,
important, right?
first
It sets the
game,
tempo
yeah.
of the entire series. Do we play up tempo? Do we play risky? Is
Sure.
that what we want to do? I think both teams kind of played a little bit slow at the beginning, but
Yeah,
I'm excited
definitely.
to see that they're willing to go for these games, willing to go for these invades, and looks like right now maybe not too much pressure.
No. Yeah, and Hickman pulling to about 1,000 gold lead here at the 10-minute mark, which is all in the CS right now.
Yeah, in the top lane, we're seeing about a 30 farm difference in the top lane between Dark Quacker, Michael Zoe, and Andrew Apostle.
Yeah, Dark Quacker is getting really close to his Trinity Force, which will be his first big item power spike.
Yeah, especially for a gangplank. That's
Yeah.
pretty incredible. Oh, Leisurely Owl,
they're
Sean
gonna-
Yu maybe caught in a difficult situation here. Collapsed on by both the bot lane, the mid
He
laner, and the
flashes.
jungler. Oh, avoids
Yeah.
the engage from Alec and the ultimate coming out from Nathan Nelmore.
Hit the Dark Binding in return.
Happy feet.
Did have to flash, use that spell shield to not get stunned by Sejuani.
And see, I think I talked a lot about Rockbridge's potential to pick people off in Champion Select, but we can't forget Hickman High School can do the exact same
Yes.
thing.
Yes, they
When
can.
all of the members are there, they can really collapse on people and lock them down for a period of time. Unfortunately, though, they weren't able to land the
Right.
CC there. And you always got to wonder, does Hickman High School have enough damage to capitalize on these picks?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter there. They do pick up the first dragon, the first neutral objective of the game.
the
That being the
Cloud
Air Drake, the Cloud Drake, that gives them bonus movement speed, which is a great dragon for everyone involved here, right? Air Drake for Rockbridge side, it actually gives their team more damage. Movement speed is going to be the name of the game for their comp. And for Hickman High School, it
Same
allows
with
you to
Hickman.
escape, right? You get to run
Yep.
away or you get to engage faster. Peter,
Well-
by the way, though, taking advantage of that with the Rift Herald.
Yeah, he's going to try to trade for the Rift Herald. Alajero's coming up, though, to try and stop him. Looks like he's just going to have to run off. He does not want to tango with the Lysandra there. Oh, but he's going to get his buddy.
Yeah, the Centaur and the Scorpion coming down. They want this Rift Herald.
Yeah, it did reset, so they're going to have to start it all over again if they think that it's safe. But they may just hold off for a little while. Yeah, that Cloud Drake is going to help Hickman a lot with the Lysandra and the Sejuani being able to move around the map to make some of those cross-map plays more quickly, which is something that Lysandra can easily do, especially with the teleport.
Indeed. All players in this game have hit level 6 now, so we're going to start seeing a couple more of those Skarner ultimates,
Yes.
Sejuani.
Yeah, the Skarner tax is going to be a big deal, like you were saying earlier in picks and bans. We'll see if they decide to pay it.
Yeah, the Skarner attacks indeed. And that actually refers to, in professional play, when you see a Skarner on one side, every single member usually has to buy this item called QSS, Quicksilver Sash, and allows you to get rid of all crowd control. And you can just get rid of the Scorpion because his ultimate allows him to run in, grab someone, and drag them back into their team. There's nothing you could do to stop it, right? And it's a big deal. And so normally QSS, only bought by AD carries for the most part, is bought by every character in professional play. When you see the Skarner, you got to pay the Skarner tax.
Yep.
But I think Hickman High School drafted well around it. They do have a lot of crowd control tools to slow down the Skarner and to protect that AD carry.
Yep.
And at least the only person Skarner really wants to grab is the Jinx.
Yeah, you don't really want to be pulling a Lissandra or a Sejuani into your team, because they have a lot of AoE abilities. But yeah, still staying to the lanes. The CS in the bot lane is pretty even. The biggest discrepancy there is still that top lane, Dark Quacker, who is sitting 1-1-0, but he is about 35 CS up. Just quite a bit of gold. And he's got his Trinity Force finished. Magical Footwear's come through, so he's got boots.
It's a little bit different, too. There was a change there in the last patch.
It doesn't come up as quickly now. So I think if you don't get any kills, I believe it's at 12 minutes.
Exactly. The difference is, too, that every elimination that you get, it's either kills or assists, take off 45 seconds of that timer. So. But yeah, that's free gold. That's free gold. And I think for Gangplank especially, that's a champion that needs those heavy-hitting items and will also scale. So being ahead in farm, getting those items early, taking advantage of the magical footwear is going to be a good step.
Yeah, especially if you can get that Trinity Force, around 10, 11 minutes, then you might be able to cash in that last minute or so to get those boots a little earlier.
Here comes another gank in the top lane.
Oh, yeah, the flash
is burned with the Predator pop, so Dark Quacker just going to pay his tax there with his Summoner spell. 5 minutes on the clock for that.
Yeah, it's a tough flash to call, though. There's a great reaction speed right there.
Yeah, sometimes it's better just burn the Summoner spell rather than getting hit.
Absolutely.
And you're going to take the damage anyway, right? So
yeah. Laying out some damage with those barrels now. And a parlay walking up. Lots of trading going on here in the top lane. That's a lot of damage. Putting him down to about half health. Oh, wow.
Here comes the gank up again. Peter, by the way.
He's camping this lane. He
gets stunned. Going to land the Impale ultimate from Heckram. Comes in, drags him into the tower. He does find a kill onto Andrew Apostle. Somehow coming out on top with a 1 kill in the top lane, but will drop to Peter, by the way. Ends up evening the score 3-3. Hickman High School.
Yeah, these fights are going back and forth.
Yeah, still in the gold lead up there. Somehow coming out on top in that 2v1 situation. Not bad at all. But for the jungler, that's just the start of the show here. Layering that CC was excellent there by Rockbridge High School. Yeah. Knowing the Gangplank with his orange, he can cleanse one ability. And still, finding a kill is very important. And it does also limit the amount of farm that Dex can get in the top lane with that elimination. So not going to catch back up at all. Andrew Apostles actually has the same farm as his jungler right now.
Yeah, both top laners holding their teleport, just walking back to lane. I expect that they will want to make a big TP play down to maybe even the bot lane. Dragon is coming up for the second time. What kind of dragon is it? Do we know?
No. Ooh, on the bot side, Dark Binding was landed onto Gosu bot. He gets locked down with the ultimate for Morgana. Taking is the Ignite, and Mike Hall does pick up a kill onto Matthew Perkins. Gosu bot. Rockbridge Green does pick up a kill there. Teleport cannot be canceled manually, so that was Andrew Apostle.
Yeah.
Vexu, that does cancel the ultimate, or the teleport, I should say, on the opposite side of the map.
Honestly,
actually, no, that was the mid lane teleport. That was
okay.
Alejero with the teleport to the bot side.
Yeah, having that canceled actually saved their bot lane, for sure. Now they're going for this Ocean Drake.
Yeah, they do have the pressure now, knowing that they took out the AD carry of Hickman High School. Rockbridge High School looking to secure their first dragon of the game. Ocean Drake.
Yeah, doing it very quickly with the Cassiopeia and the Skarner there.
Yeah, I would argue it's the... it's a pretty impactful Drake here, I guess.
Ocean Drake's great. Yeah. Gives you lots of health and mana regen.
There has to be one least favorite dragon, though. And my vote's for Ocean Drake. If
yours is Ocean?
Yeah, I'd go to Ocean. Gosh. Which one would you go? Which one is worse? What do you mean? Cloud Drake is so... Movement speed is the name of the game.
I don't know. I would much rather have the regen for sieging turrets than the ability to. I play support, so I've already got
It's all about moving, right? It's all about moving. I don't know. I want to hear it in the crowd. Here you go. Alejandro, though, maybe caught out, though. Gets locked down
nice
by the dark binding. Peter, by the way. Oh, they keep the CC layered. He's not able to escape with the frozen blast. And now here he is entombing himself, trying to survive for a little bit longer. But there's 3 members.
He's
A great
able to
flash
flash
over the wall.
away.
He might escape.
Oh,
Rockbridge
my
High
gosh.
School was not prepared. They thought they had it in the bag, but happy feet there by Alejandro James saves him. He gets away, burning those summoner spells and wasting the time of the Bruins.
Yeah, and they
I thought he was dead for sure. I was like,
they
he's dead,
played
right?
that so well.
Yeah, I was like, why did he ult himself? Yeah, they layered the CC, didn't
Yep.
allow him to escape. But no, they weren't
Yeah.
prepared. They didn't cover all angles. All
No.
about those pursuit angles, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. They didn't want to. I mean, they could have flashed forward. It wouldn't have been a guaranteed kill. So sometimes in those situations, it's better just to hold onto your summoner. You're not sure if you can get it or
Yeah,
not.
and in the end, that is still a more positive trade for
Yes.
Rockbridge High School. That summoner spell
Yes, it
is a 5-minute cooldown.
Yes.
None of them burn those themselves. The ultimates will be up in a minute,
Right.
less than 2 minutes, that kind of thing. So still a positive trade for Rockbridge High School. But for the most part, small proactive plays being made around the map.
Yeah.
It's all about vision right now. And Rockbridge High School has secure a significant amount of vision on the bot and the top side of the map.
Yeah, all the way through the river.
Hickman High School will have to regain that if they want to venture out outside of their lanes.
Dark Quacker hiding, trying to see if he can lay some barrels. Oh, he's been spotted. Yeah, the more of those barrels that explode in a combo, the higher the damage is.
A little movement speed boost there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Gangplank keep those barrels? Like, where do they come from?
Tony Stark built them. I don't
He
know.
just
He
throw
just
'em
throws them out and they appear.
Nanotech. Okay, here we go. Nailmore looking for a gank now on the bot side of the map here. We'll get sighted on a ward, so going to think better of it.
Yep. It's gonna maybe stop at the Skarner Crystal Spire.
Yeah, now Dragon aside, we're coming into the 20-minute mark. This is about where teams start to enter the mid-game.
Yes.
You finish your one item, starting on your second item, maybe more, and pretty slow start. We have no
No
towers
turrets
taken. And, that's the name of the game. You got to break down towers to make it to the end of the game, make it to the bases. Top tower will be going down very shortly. Andrew Apostle trying to find the engage with his ultimate onto Dark Quacker, but narrowly avoids it. Peter, by the way, coming up with his 3rd gank of the game, will also find nothing.
Yeah, he's really camping that top lane. They want to keep that turret safe, but they may just have to give it up. It'll be the first turret of the game for Hickman here, if he can secure it.
And that Dark Quacker demanding that pressure.
Yep, he's going to go ahead and grab that turret, get him some extra gold for his team.
There we go. First turret of the game. First turret of the night. Here comes the Baron Nashor buff. This is going to be a big deal. Make sure vision is on this objective when secured. Big pushing potential for either squad. Rockbridge High School still with control on the bot side, up by about 20 farm. And for Hickman, they're going to find a way to break open the game. They have to group if they want to capitalize on that 80 carry that they have. The Jinx needs to come online. We're seeing the tower down here for Rockbridge High School starting to get real low, or for Hickman High School, Rockbridge chipping away at it. And for both these teams here, the next part is going to be very important, right? How do you answer for Rockbridge with that pressure the top lane has? He can now roam around the map.
Yeah, Gangplank is able to move around the map now. He's free from his lane to an extent. It'll be interesting to see where they decide to put him. Looks like they're going to keep him in that top lane, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him go bot or even roam mid and try to help with those, securing some of those kills. He is way ahead on CS right now.
Oh, not going to steal it? No.
Almost.
In slow games like this, you got to get excited for everything.
Yes.
Right? But I'm prepared. I predict in the next 4 or 5 minutes, this game is going to break open.
Yeah.
At the point of the game where teams have to start grouping, you're losing towers. You have to capitalize on the composition that you built. And I think for Hickman High School, they got to find how do we do that? How do we break out of these lanes?
Yeah.
And it's kind of just. It's difficult. Here's a player right now. Actually, teleport coming in on the backside from Dark Quacker. He's going to be flanking the bot lane of Rockbridge High School. His ultimate comes down. Michael pops on the hunt. He will flash to escape. Ultimate from Nelmore pulls an X-Smithy. It will miss. Alejandro does drop down. It's going to try to find the pick up the kill on Michael.
There it is.
It does find, though. Parlay from Dark Quacker picks up a kill. Cookie finds a kill on Leisurely Owl. That's two eliminations for the QPs. And they immediately rotate to the Dragon.
Yeah, that's really smart play there. They saw that both of Rockbridge's jungler and top laner were in the top side of the map, and they knew that they could make a play in the bot lane.
And that's immediately what I'd expect, and that's what we're talking about, right? For Hickman High School, you're slowly going to start losing things in the mid and the bot side. You're going to lose that tower here. How do you capitalize on the openness that you have in the top lane, right? Your Dark Quacker has all the freedom. You see the teleport on the backside. Jungler and mid laner roam down as well. Those 4 or 5-man plays are what we expect from both of these squads. Teleport coming out from Alec Alejero James to try to slow down the push from Rockbridge High School. They see Dark Quacker coming up as well. They have to escape.
Yeah, he's walking back up. He's trying to make those cross-map plays.
They've been boxed in. Predator popped. Andrew Apostle will ult away, and he has to leave his jungler to die now. Gets stuck in the frozen tomb. Alejero picks up a kill onto Peter. And now Hickman High School picking up the pace, picking up the tempo. They're the ones that are dictating this game, and Rockbridge just forced to respond. Definitely a different look for Rockbridge. Again, they're the ones that usually dictate the pace of the game. They play with tempo early on, and it's going to be a different side of Rockbridge than we're used to seeing.
On the Hunt was popped. They were trying to see if they could catch somebody out there, but they got CC'd by the Lulu. They're just gonna need to keep pushing. I mean, the game is still so close right now. I mean, it's a 4K gold lead for Hickman, but these fights could honestly still go either way, depending on who shows up to them. Right now, Gangplank is extremely strong. Dark Quacker is going to be able to put out a lot of damage, but if he's not available to fight, then Rockbridge could easily take they could even, I could see them winning a 5v4 if they play it right.
The damage will be there. We see Seraph's Embrace already figured out for Wham Lab. He has completed that item. He has a Morella Namicon as well. 2 items on the Sivir. If this team were to group, it's going to be pretty terrifying to deal with as well. And I think right now Hickman High School just taking the numbers advantage. Every single fight they've had that they've come out on top of, other than the one in the top side there, they brought down 2 members, 4 members, whatever it takes to really secure those kills.
Right.
And in the mid game, that's what you do, right? Early on, that's a little bit risky. You don't really have the damage, but in the mid game, when you know you've secured the gold, you've secured the items, capitalize on it, make those plays happen to start snowballing. Give yourself a lead that you can work with, because in the late game, it could go either way.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they had the resources to commit to those kinds of plays once those turrets got taken. So it looks like there's a lot of action going around Baron. They want to keep vision on that. That is a very, very important objective at this stage in the game.
Yeah, for the Rockbridge side, they have really, really strong wave clear. As does Hickman. But whoever secures the Nasher buff is going to push down turrets pretty easily.
Yes. Yeah, neither team wants to lose that. I'm sure Hickman would has kind of the pressure there. They would rather secure it, whereas Rockbridge just does not want to lose it.
And both these teams is interesting because both these squads are going to play these fights almost parallel to each other. They're going to be exactly the same. Keeping your 80 carries in the backline, supports right next to them. You want to make sure that black shield, that Lulu ultimate can go right onto your carry. And for the rest of them, for your mid laner, you want to be up in the middle of the fight, laying down that crowd control.
Yes.
And it's going to be about the junglers and the top laners. They're going to find those engages, slowing down the teammates with the barrels, finding the ultimate with Hecarim. And a lot of these fights will be played front to back, or if Rockbridge is able to find it, they have the vision control. They can try to bait fights out and maybe try to engage from different angles with the Hecarim, with the Skarner. And it's really going to be about keeping those 80 carries protected.
Yeah, they're going to be the difference makers here as they start to get more items. They both have a Zeal item and a high damage item with the Essence Reaver and the Infinity Edge.
Damage is the name of the game. Hickman High School, though, sitting relatively comfortably on a 5,000 gold lead. Up 3 towers, 2 kills. But they have to keep up that tempo because if things start stalling out, again, I think both of these teams have enough late game tools to really kind of come out on top. And you also got to look at player tendencies, right? Michael Ju of Rockbridge High School, their 80 carry, he's one of the safest, most calculated 80 carries in the game. He is not going to get caught out. He's going to be safe. He's going to be the last one to go down almost every single fight. Gosubot, on the other hand, Matthew Perkins, again, hot or cold player.
Yes.
And he's feeling hot. But at the same time, I would not put it against him to be on the front line maybe one or two times too often.
They get a little too close to that Skarner.
And that's exactly what we're talking about here. For both these 80 carries, they have to position themselves impeccably. Unfortunately, right now, for Matthew Gosubot Perkins, he's not strong enough. He's not far enough ahead right now to sit on the front line safely and kill everything the way he wants to.
Not yet.
So he has to remember, he has to stay safe, has to position himself. And maybe stay cool a little bit here.
And maybe buy a QSS.
It's the Skarner tax. And I think Skarner's like 100% win rate in this league right now.
Yeah, it is.
Stat checkers, check that stat for us because I believe He had no clue what I was talking about. I pointed at him. He's like, what are you talking about, man? Ultimate popped on the top side. Here comes Peter, by the way, trying to find the engage. Looks like
they might
Hickman
shut
High
him
School
down.
was caught out. Dark Quacker
He's taking
in a
so much
3v1
damage.
situation does go
But
down.
they are
but
going to use that opportunity
look at
to take
that. Hickman
Baron.
High School capitalizing on it. They see their top laner. He's demanding that pressure. That will be the Nasher buff secured by the QPs.
Yep.
And that, honestly, is a bigger trade. Lose your top laner,
Absolutely.
but we're going to win the game here. Baron Nasher secured. This is going to be the sieging and the pushing potential that Hickman needs to start really putting pressure onto Rockbridge.
Yeah, now Rockbridge is going to go for the consolation prize.
Yeah, there you go.
of,
second place, right? What's
the-
wrong with second place?
The worst dragon in the game.
That is not the worst dragon in the game. Hecarim literally gets more damage with movement speed, but that's
I
beside
guess,
the point.
yeah.
Beside the point here. Air Drake, both dragons are mirrored between the squads. Hickman has air and ocean. Rockbridge has air and ocean as well, but it's the Baron Nasher buff that is on this team of Hickman. Tower secured by Rockbridge in the top side. We're now all tied up, 3-3. Gold lead still up by 4,000 gold for the QPs. But Rockbridge slow to respond to this mid lane push. That might be a free tower for the QPs.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep them off of this turret.
Just poor Leisurely Owl, the support for Rockbridge. Throws out a
They're
Dark
all
Binding
alone.
in an effort to defend, but with all that time built up, there's now 2 Baron and Power Cannon minions. See how they're purple now? They're dealing extra damage. They have more health. Makes it that much easier for the siege to take place for Hickman High School. Luckily enough for Rockbridge, they do have a lot of wave clear.
Yeah, they're just going to keep sieging this turret, I imagine.
Slowly just chip away at it.
They're going to let Dark Quacker push it up in the bot lane.
Yep.
He does not have Baron, though, as he was dead when the Baron was killed. I'm pretty sure he was still
Yeah,
dead.
and now for rock, paper, scissors here. Hickman High School is the rock. Rockbridge right now is the scissors. If they play it appropriately, they have the range. They could just sit there with Baron buff and just sit there and poke away at it.
Yes.
Because it's up to Rockbridge to find that engage. As long as they can't get onto the AD carry, they should walk away with the win of the fight. We see
Right.
Dark Quacker
There it
rotating down
is.
to the bot side. They're bringing those minions to bear, and now that's a second tower secured with this Baron push. And they have to respond left or right, top or mid, bot or mid, I should say. And they got to find a pick. Rockbridge High School right now is bleeding out. They have to find an engage somewhere, and for Hickman High School, he's got to not step out of line. Here it comes,
there
though.
it is.
The Predator engage onto the AD carry. They're committing everything to it, but the stopwatch is there. Alejero is going to stall this game out of
Wow,
all the
look
people
at
to
how
pick
much-
off. Alejero is not the
Oh,
one
no.
to grab. He has so many tools to protect himself. Nelmore jumps over the wall, maybe trying to engage on something that he's going to back out. He's big and tanky. He's going to walk out. But a good effort there by Rockbridge
They
High
just
School
done so
trying to
much
find an
damage, and
engage.
there it
Whoa, what a barrel combo. I mean, it's 1-2 barrels.
Yeah.
1-2 punch.
all he
Inhibitor.
needed.
Base opened up by Hickman High School. Down goes
This
the
could be
bot lane
game one right
inhibitor.
here.
This could be the game right now with the Baron push. That turret pushing power is incredible. On the hunt pop by Rockbridge's AD carry.
Well, they're trying
Can
to
they
go for
kite
the
it
back
out?
line.
Can they get to the Jinx? But
Jinx is kiting back.
Bot is doing his job excellently, kiting back. That's his first kill of the game. Alejero does pick up, or does go down actually. My
Going
call
for
picks
one
up a
more.
kill, but unfortunately for them, they don't have the frontliners to defend. Leisurely
Morgana
Owl
coming
has
in with the
spawned.
chains.
The chains, it's a lot of damage coming out. Is that enough to defend? But no more. He's so tanky. He's just going to
there
whack
it
down the
is.
Nexus himself. Hickman High School will take game number 1 in this series.
Yeah, that was a great game. I mean, it started off really slow.
Yeah, and
But-
one mistake is all it takes for one of these squads to capitalize on anything and everything. You catch out one person in the top lane, which is fine, right? You find Dark Quacker isolated. You commit those resources, but at the same time, it's a battle. You gotta. It's kind of like economics. You gotta go left or right. What's it worse? What am I losing here?
Yeah.
And they lost the Baron buff on the opposite side of the map. They had vision of it. They committed to the fight, but unfortunately, with that Baron push, Hickman High School was far enough ahead that they were impossible to stop without the right engage. And I think finding the ultimate, the impale onto Alejero, wrong pick, right? We talked about
Yeah.
the only person you can Predator on and grab with that Skarner ultimate is the Jinx.
Yeah.
Any other character can stall it out. It's not worth the ultimate. They committed Skarner ultimate. They committed Hecarim ultimate. And they didn't even get the kill on Alejero. So
Yeah, it would have been better to probably just try to wave clear until they had the opportunity to grab the Jinx. But
it's hard. It's a hard play. That's why I
yeah.
said rock, paper, scissors. Right now,
Exactly.
Rockbridge was the scissors. Hickman was the rock.
Yeah.
Until they're not. But unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbled. So that is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, between these two excellent teams, Hickman High School and Rockbridge High School. We're going to be taking a short break as teams break away to start planning and preparing for game number 2, which is arguably the most important game.
Absolutely.
So without any further ado, we're going to send it to a short break. Thank you to our sponsors for making this all possible. Hawthorne Bank, Veterans United, Armstrong, Teasdale, Columbia College, and Division D. We'll be back in just a little bit. Game 1 went to Hickman Gold's team, Hickman QBs.
Yeah.
They have secured a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 game series.
Yep.
How did you feel after that game, Stefan?
Both teams looked really good. I mean, Hickman, I think, just had an advantage by getting some of the turrets earlier. Then they were able to, get that play in the bot lane where they had 3 people against Dark Whacker, and then they lost Dark Whacker, but they were able to secure the Baron. That was just kind of the end.
Yeah, you got to call back to the draft. The draft is great. I think what's most incredible right now is like how strong of picks they had into that comp, right? For Rockbridge High School, that entire draft looked incredible, right? You see the Skarner, we see it multiple times. It's incredibly difficult champion to play around and to deal with, and I think Hickman drafted really, really well around the jungle pick. You got to account for both the Alajero's pick, the Lysandra, the Sejuani, the Lulu as well. You can just polymorph him as he's running at you. So many tools to keep Skarner off of the Jinx.
Right.
And you make it so that Skarner can only grab one champion, and he made it very difficult in those team fights.
Yeah, and there at the end, I mean, grabbing the Lysandra, that was what we were talking about earlier. That's not the you don't want to grab the Lysandra or the Sejuani and pull them into your team because they can just sustain and stay there.
And you're literally dragging the CC bomb right into the middle of your squad. And it's in this next game, I think not only is Rockbridge going to have to figure out maybe a different solution. Obviously, they came into that game with the plan to go with the Skarner. Let's go and engage, because it definitely looked like Hickman had a response to it. They were prepared for it. But in this next game, what is Rockbridge going to run? I'm expecting maybe an early game comp. That's something they are familiar with. They're very good at playing early game, and if they draft early, might be a good look for them. One thing, though, we have to note, though, is one of their players, Andrew Apostle, will be stepping out. They have a substitution in the top lane. Alex Zhu will be coming in. Looks like Andrew Apostle does have an orchestra concert. So I didn't know. Poor timing on that one. You want to do both of them, right? I got my grades, but I got to stand up for my team. But he should be back by game 3, potentially.
Cool.
Maybe so. Yeah. But it's going to be another different look, though, for Rockbridge. And game 2, again, arguably the most important one of the series.
Yeah, definitely. It can, make or break kind of the pacing and the tempo of the series. If you drop another game, then all of the pressure is on to get that reverse sweep to win.
But, we are in Columbia, Missouri, which is a part of North America, which is where the LCS is a part of as well. And the LCS has been known for their reverse sweeps, at least this season.
We see them quite frequently.
Yeah, I know a lot of the
North
players
American
here
LCS.
Came to the finals that were held in St. Louis for LCS.
I was there.
You were there. You were there at the finals. What happened at the finals of the League of Legends professional scene?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
It was a reverse sweep, right?
Yeah, TSM won the first 2 games, and then Team Liquid just scooped up the last 3.
And I think you're not the only one with that prediction. Some people predicted that Hickman High School would pull ahead 2-0, but we'd see a reverse sweep from Rockbridge. Where does that rationale come from for you? Why do you think that's a possibility?
I would say if that were to happen, it would be because of Rockbridge's ability to kind of control the pacing of the game, especially when they draft those early to mid-game comps, because they're able to make those proactive plays in the first 15-ish minutes and kind of throw Hickman off of their lane dominance, essentially. And if they're able to do that, then they can make more proactive plays around the map.
Something they did have going for them, I think Rockbridge's high school's bot lane looks a lot more solid, especially in the early game.
Yeah.
Late game, it's a little bit different story. Specifically, you go back to GoSubot. He's got Matthew Perkins has an excellent play style when it comes to abusing other players that are a little bit less experienced. He's able to find those leads, capitalize off them, and run away with it.
Yeah.
But early on, Rockbridge High School, they're able to really negate that effect. And I think that's a strategy Rockbridge can maybe try to play around. Bot lane, maybe we put more pressure there.
I mean, I'd like to see my call on the, like a Lucian or something like that, or maybe even a Kaisa who has good late game scaling potential, but during the mid game is a terror to deal with and has an amount of self-peel and escaping capabilities.
That was banned away last game by Rockbridge High School, but they have swapped sides. So Rockbridge High School will be on the blue side coming into this next game, which means they will have first pick advantage. With that first pick, maybe a champion like the Kaisa, or a champion like Vayne as well.
Yes, Vayne.
A very big champion that you can play around. And I think that's one thing that they'll have to maybe figure out or isolate. You have to obviously focus on the mid lane for Hickman High School. You can't ignore the Zoe. Top lane as well. There's some champions you just don't want to play against.
You don't want to play against Darius.
So if you get 2 bans out of the way, you maybe have 1 more ban. Where do you focus that one? Jungle position for Hickman, kind of hard to ban. Nelmore plays a plethora of different champions. Top lane, same thing. Darkwhacker plays so many different champions as well. So where do you put that other ban? Is it back to the AD carry position again?
Yeah, AD carry or maybe even support. There might be specific supports that they have trouble playing against. I mean, there's a lot of supports that can kind of throw a wrench in your plans, especially if you're trying to win in bot lane. So, you know, you could, if you're worried about having a lot of sustain, or maybe even, like, we saw Sonateric last week.
Yeah, we
I
did.
think. And it hasn't worked yet.
No, we've seen it 2 times in the league, and it has not worked either of those times.
And, I mean, if they could bring that out and use it.
Yeah, we saw it in the All-Star match.
Yeah, we saw it in the All-Star match. That's what it was. But we haven't seen it work yet. And so maybe they don't have to worry about banning either Sona or Tarek. But they could, you know, go with a Soraka or some kind of lane sustain.
I think teams are still preparing. As soon as we're ready to go to Champion Select, though, I'm ready to hop into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe the play. I think the bot lane is going to continue to be the focus. You can't really plan for Darkwhacker what he's going to play.
Right.
Mid lane, you just assume if you take away those carries, it's going to be something more utility-based. And so the AD carry position, maybe between the Kaisa and the Vayne, 2 very strong picks right now. You leave one up, your first pick. Maybe you leave one of them up, you force them to ban 2 of them, and then you take the other one. You take like the Jinx, who's also a hyper carry. That's one of the options. Protect the AD carry comp is definitely a good look for Hickman High School, especially when you have so many other threats and you like being proactive and you have an AD carry that is very proficient.
Definitely.
A very legitimate strategy for Hickman. They have other things they can run as well. We've seen split push played multiple times.
We have seen a lot of split push. I mean, you got the Jax I think was available last game. I don't think he got banned.
Here we are, though, jumping into Champion Select now for game number 2.
Let's see what they're going to do. Yeah, Rockbridge is going to need to change something up. I don't think that their composition was necessarily their downfall. It was just kind of the way they executed it. But yeah,
it was one mistake. I think that is definitely how you look at that last game, is when you see teams that are playing at such a high level, making one mistake like that can be the end of everything.
That's the end of it. So they could feasibly run back a very, very similar comp and try it again. But like you were saying, Game 2 is extremely important. And this is not a game that you want to drop because you want to stay competitive in the series. And if you do drop that game, then you're going to have to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, we've swapped sides for this match here. What is going to be the first pick for Rockbridge High School? Again, it is pro draft, so we won't exactly say the first pick.
We do have a ban coming out on the Vayne from the Hickman side. They do not want to go against My Call's Vayne. And the Janna as well, which I believe they banned last game.
Yeah, something to note, actually, it's a little bit wrong with the image here, but we do have a substitution for the top lane for Rockbridge High School. Again, it's not Andrew Apostle, it is Alex Zhu in the top lane. That will be Kasuo, who maybe that'll be an X Factor. He's more of a carry kind of mid laner. He plays those carry champions.
And we have seen him play Yasuo quite well. And
here comes Aurelia. I'm about to say Aurelia is probably the other pick that he's playing a lot.
Exactly. And Aurelia is a great matchup for against a Gangplank.
Yeah, I died to go play Gangplay again here. Fiora, ooh, I would like
this
to
would
see
be
that.
a
That would
nutty
be a very
matchup.
fun play. Oh, and
he's gonna go.
Or Vladimir. Vladimir was left up as well. That was banned away last game. There's so many champions. What's he got?
He's gonna pick Gangplank again.
Back to the plank. All right.
He played it really well.
He did play it really well.
I'm really surprised that he did not pick the Jax after hovering it, because he has had such success this season with the Jax, being able to split push, and I've seen him make like 1v3 plays on that. So
with Gangplank, though, you have to expect they're looking for some kind of engage comp again, Hickman High School. Gangplank's ultimate allows them to lay down a blanket fire over a huge space, really slowing those opponents. And we're probably going to see another hard engage comp here. Actually, already looking at it again. Sejuani being locked in once more for Hickman High School. Basically, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right? We say it over and over again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why give them a different look if Rockbridge High School didn't have an answer for it last time?
Right, well, I mean, this time, too, Peter, by the way, is locking in Kane, which is an excellent mid-early game jungler. Get a lot of great deep invades and exhibit a lot of pressure.
And maybe that's the approach that I would take for Rockbridge High School. If the late game is where Hickman Gold will thrive, and that's the comp that they want to run with, then go all in the early game.
Yeah, we're going to see an Orianna in the mid lane as well. Really standard, really nice pick to round out a composition.
Something that was not banned away, by the way, was the Kaisa. So the champion that was left on the board, previously banned by Rockbridge, was left up.
Still available right now. We are going into the second phase of
there we go. There's the Jax.
There's the Jax ban. So they did ban it. We just didn't
get to see it in the order.
Get to see it in order. What's going to be the next ban?
Oh, they're stall. I remember. Okay,
Oh,
their
that-
secret strat, by the way, ladies and
exactly.
gentlemen. Rockbridge High School is trying to stall out of their minds right now,
Right.
as they wait for Andrew Apostle
Mm-hmm.
to come back from his orchestra concert. So I expect all these picks for them to go
Probably
to
go
the last
the
second.
whole 20 seconds.
I respect it. I get
Yeah,
it.
no. You want to play with your team?
Yeah, do whatever you can do within the rules. Right?
Exactly. Yep. And a lot of that, too, could be giving them more time to prepare, bring Kasuo up to speed with, exactly how the last game went. There's a lot of communication, that they need to have.
And teams do that all the time. Take advantage of pauses, take advantage of whatever it may be.
Yeah, Svenskeren spilling his drinks all the time.
Oh, once again, I got to take the fall again. There goes my
dang.
drink. I went all over the keyboard. Riot, what are we going to do? Twitch locked in. Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
wow.
Another huge carry,
Yes.
AD carry for Hickman High School.
Right.
GoSubot has played Twitch multiple times before.
Yes.
This is going to be a terror to deal with later on. And I think the positioning is even more difficult to deal with than a Jinx. Where you can come out from any different angle. Already you're CC'd,
Yeah.
you're locked down.
Yeah.
Here is what I expect. Lucian, I expect maybe the Kaisa, actually.
There-
Yeah, I was going to say
there it
Kaisa or
is.
Lucian.
Yep,
there
and
is the
there's the
Kaisa.
Kaisa.
You don't ban it. Leave it up. Kaisa,
Yes.
first pick by Rockbridge High School, I believe. One of the top tier 80 carries at
Sure.
this moment in the game. And not necessarily early game.
Oh, are we going to see the Pike?
I like this.
His
I like
Pike
this
is
a lot.
really good.
I like this a lot. That's the kind of kill pressure that you need in the bot lane.
Oh,
Expect-
opting for the
okay,
Nautilus
is fine too. That's fine. I get it. That's okay. I'm a little disappointed.
A different underwater hook character.
True, which are very, very similar. Okay, so I expected something and I was let down. That's okay. That's how things go.
How about this one?
Okay.
that guy.
Yeah, I was like, I'm ready for it. Lock it in. Do it. You won't. Okay, Renee Tellman locking in Nami, the support champion that really will buff up the Twitch. Interesting that they didn't maybe go for, I don't know, I guess Janna and Lulu.
Yeah.
I was expecting maybe a Soraka,
Right.
potentially, keeping that CC in place.
Yes.
Soraka's a great pick into a Kaisa.
Yes, it is.
If she dashes onto your backline, you lock her down so she can't go in Viz, she can't run away. Soraka's down with the champion. I expected there. Didn't see it, though. Maybe they picked it earlier on, so it's what it is.
Well, we've seen her play Nami a handful of times this season, and she's played her really well. Pretty
Yeah.
much every game she lands those bubbles.
Yeah, so a little bit more of an aggressive support in that lane with the Twitch. Again, we called it out from the beginning before this game even started. Rockbridge High School has to play with tempo. They have to
Yes.
pick up the pace early on, find a lead, and they have to prevent this team from scaling out of control because Hickman Gold basically playing the exact same comp that they played last game. They have to scale, and they have to make it to that mid to late game where team
Yeah.
fighting this time is going to be way more lopsided than the last one.
Right, and that's kind of, that's Rockbridge. That's the style that they like to play. They like to control the game early. Not necessarily like get those like huge lane leads, but to be able to make proactive plays within the first 15 to 20 minutes.
And one thing we always have to talk about is player tendencies. And in the top lane now, we have Kasuo versus Dark Quacker.
Yes.
Alex Yu against Michael Zoe. And something that we see all the time from Alex is that very aggressive tendency. He wants to be a playmaker. He wants to make moves. Except into Dark Quacker, is that something that's in his best interests?
Typically no, but if you are in a position that you can make aggressive plays against Dark Quacker, then maybe you should take them because that's typically not a
Exactly,
position
and
you're
one
in.
thing that they have that Peter did very well last game, he put that pressure on Dark Quacker.
Oh, yeah.
They found some early kills. They found it multiple times, and Peter picking a much more aggressive early game jungler that can gank from multiple angles. Kane, that's going to be a big champion, and I want him to put that pressure on on those side lanes. He's got to either help Kasuo out, open up that lane so he can rotate and put some pressure on the map, or, of course, the bot lane. That aggressive bot lane that you want to get ahead because that is your winning condition for Rockbridge.
Yep.
Find a lead early, shut down that Twitch, and open up the map.
Yeah, and I hope that Peter does go to the top lane a lot and help Kasuo out on the Aurelia because if they can get the Aurelia ahead, they will be in a very, very good position.
1 minute and 30 seconds away from the game starting. Again, you gotta wait for that delay. You got to wait for the game to begin. Predictions, though, Stefan, between these two comps, who has it?
I think that this is a really tough call because Rockbridge has drafted a much better comp into Hickman's team this time, I think, rather than playing like almost the exact same style.
Trying to match
comp.
them in the.
Yeah, they're playing their own. So I think Rockbridge could take this one. So I'm gonna go with Rockbridge. I think that this is the one win that they could get this night. and maybe even turn it
The
around.
one win?
Yeah, because I predicted Hickman 3-1.
Oh, true. You said Hickman 3-1. You're right.
So, and if they do get the win, then they obviously still have tons of potential to take the whole series.
And if they don't walk away with this win, again, opting for a different play style, you're kind of putting your eggs now in a different basket.
Yeah.
Doesn't pan out. What do you have to do? Because this is basically the exact same comp. Protect the AD carry comps are incredibly hard to deal with if you have an AD carry that's competent, which we know that both these teams have.
Yes, they are. I mean, it's going to be if Rockbridge ends up dropping this game, it's going to be up to like the mental, like their whole mentality going into Game 3. I think it'll be less about the champs that they pick and the team that they draft, and more about how they can get over the mental hump of losing 2 games in a row in a 5-game series.
Yeah, that's something that I've been consistently impressed with, especially in the last game that we saw against Hickman Purple and Rockbridge Green, actually, the mental game, right? You're down in the series, and same thing with Battle, actually. You play with grit. Even if it's your last game, you come out, and that was probably the strongest game from both those teams, both Hickman Purple and Battle Blue. The last game, backs against the wall, that's when we saw them perform arguably their best in the entire season. And maybe they'll come down to this in this game. Rockbridge Green sitting down in a 1-0 deficit.
Yeah,
but
they
not
need
all is
to
lost.
be able to bounce back. I mean, and that's one of the important things about playing a team game like this in a setting like this, is being able to learn how to control your mentality when you are down, back against the wall. But here we are.
Rockbridge Green, Hickman Gold, Cupies, Bruins have swapped sides. Rockbridge High School will be the blue team now in game number 2. Hickman will be the red team. Cheers from the audience. Yeah. Again, the home field advantage. Is it going to be too much for the Bruins to overcome, or will they bounce back in game number 2?
They're trying to go up into this top side.
Every single time. You got to expect it.
Oh, my gosh. They might be able to get this hook.
Are they AFK? Maybe. Darkwalker didn't react maybe as quickly as he would have liked to have.
Oh, he flies over the wall. Got the hook.
That's going to be first blood for Rockbridge High School. Yep. They do it every single game.
Yep.
You got to be ready for it. Look at that. Early invade, finding a kill onto Darkwalker. Burning no summoner spells, though. He accepted his fate.
Yeah.
With both summoners burned in the support position. So you pay a little bit for it, but that first blood gold going over to the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's a good place for it to be. For sure, and that's a good way to get Darkwalker. We talk about him all the time, how he's an extremely competent, super strong top laner, and sometimes you have to be able to get into your opponent's heads, and that's a really good way to do it, is to walk up level 1 with the whole team and get the first blood against him.
Yeah, Rockbridge High School showing him off again. This is not actually their top lane. He played last game. He'll be back. Andrew Vex Apostle in the jungle position. Peter, by the way, Kim. Actually in the top lane now. Alex Kasuo Zhu, not featured here, is Jack Speak, but we'll get back to him later. Michael Zhu in the bot lane in the AD carry position. And, of course, Sean, I changed my name, you, in the support position. So, Rockbridge High School coming ahead early in game number 2. Exactly the comp they wanted to draft. They wanted to play early with tempo. Can they take advantage of that first blood now?
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, the gold went on to the Oriana, and she doesn't really snowball, but she can't output a ton of damage. So that kill is definitely not going to be wasted. Being able to pick up a second Doran's Ring in the lane is going to be extremely helpful.
In your opinion, how do you feel about the Twitch Nami into the Kaisa Nautilus?
Okay, so I feel like this is a pretty difficult lane, especially early for Gosubot and Cookie. Just because the Nautilus is so beefy and he can throw out those hooks. They have a really big hitbox sometimes, and they can be extremely disruptive. So I think that it's going to be difficult for Hickman to lane normally with the amount of disruption they have. And Kaisa's just kind of going to farm, for a little while. But once level 6 happens, then the Kaisa will start trying to get some kills.
And the path right now by Peter, by the way, is he's going to try to find an early gank in the bot side. There's a ward in the tri-bush. I think that's really where he's going to try to put his pressure. Again, at this early game jungler, he really has to find an impact in the first 15 minutes. If not, is the Kayn really worth the pick?
I mean,
well, we're going to... I'm sure Leisurely Owl is going to hope that we didn't see that.
Just taunting him. Yeah, I mean, I expect Peter, by the way, to start ganking, here in the next 2 minutes.
Oh, there we go.
There
Hook
it is.
lands onto Renee Tellman. Cookie, look at
exactly
the damage. But the bubble lands onto Michael, so he's going to escape there with his life. No summoners burn yet. Again, there's no sums on Leisurely Owl, so he won't be able to escape. Trading back and forth. Michael will back up. Not going to take that expunge damage. Doesn't want to take that to the face.
No, that's exactly the kind of thing that I was talking about happening. Nautilus is just going to be able to go in and do that over and over again as long as the minions aren't in his way.
It's kind of the opposite of last game, right? Where the Sivir and the Morgana, you could get the wave push, you open up the lane for those spells. but the sustain is definitely there for Hickman's side, right? And the Nami can continue to heal her AD carry out. This time, no bad start for either jungle. They're both going to get one Scuttle Crab. Make sure they're keeping up in their own experience. Perfectly tied right now, perfectly balanced the way things should be. Engage coming on to Wham Lab, going to burn Cleanse, will try to escape. Narrowly avoids Nelmore's damage, and he's going to walk out and burn the Summoner spell.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised that
keeps himself alive.
didn't get the glacial proc on the Sejuani there for the stun, but sometimes it can be hard to follow up with. And we are starting to see some differences in CS. They're in the bot lane.
Kaisa up by 10 already at 4 minutes into the game.
And that's that Nautilus pressure. I mean, every time the Nautilus walks up, Ghostubot's going to have to, play very safe. And then if he gets hooked, it's going to take a lot of resources away from Cookie and that Naomi.
It was interesting, actually. Different paths taken by the Kane. And I like the timing there for both of them. Able to secure Scuttle Crab. They weren't early. That's something that's been a little bit difficult for both junglers to adapt to, is the Scuttle Crab timing.
Right.
So that's pretty important. I think that was something that was a little bit off last game. And again, for Rockbridge, for Peter, by the way, he's got to keep up that tempo. He's got to make sure his timing is impeccable, and he's able to set up some of these ganks somewhere. And I think for Rockbridge, his bot lane maybe a little bit harder, right? They're pushing. They're keeping up a lot of pressure. So maybe you look top lane. Do you have the damage to take down Dark Quacker a second time?
Yeah, that would be really, really good. I'm sure Kazuo would appreciate that a lot. He is recalling. He's going to go back and get some items. Likely teleport back in the lane. Oh, no, he's not recalling, actually. And then here in the mid lane, this is a pretty standard mid lane mage kind of laning phase.
Wow, we got control mages. We have CC and abilities, but no way to kill each other.
Gonna see some trades, gonna see some CC, but nothing will probably happen too much. Not many solo kills until the junglers start making their way there. Neither one of them have Ignite. So yeah, they're just gonna play it safe, keep farming. And this top lane, it's interesting. I mean, Kazuo so far is staying even with Dark Quacker, which is something we don't see very often. Oh, that
we
could have
say
been
that
a
as he takes a parlay and forced a flash. Caster's cursed, by the way.
Yeah, sorry about that.
There you go. That's all Stefan's fault, Alex. That's not your fault that you had to flash there.
Yeah.
Forced to burn his summoner spell. Now will not have that escape tool.
Now they're gonna. The top laners are gonna recall.
Now in the last game, we complimented both teams, playing slow, keeping up the pace, with each other matching. But this game, it's a little bit unfortunate. Rockbridge High School finding that late early, but can they continue to push? Can they find something else? Because the later this game goes, they don't stand a chance, right? You look at the CC, you look at the tanks, you look at how well all their characters scale, and they just don't do that as well this game. So
no.
You have to hope that they open up the map somehow. You find some more Kane ganks. Maybe you try 4-manning a lane, whatever it may be. But as we start coming into the 6-minute mark, 7-minute mark, 10-minute mark here, and they weren't able to capitalize.
No more trying to decide what he wants to do.
The game. Here's going to escape. Oh, didn't quite make it over the wall. Maybe Hickman didn't see it. Oh, there you go. Just over the wall. Yeah, you look at Hickman's team, right? And you they don't really scale. They don't really scale. They don't really do that much damage early on.
Right.
Which isn't that really strong until he gets item. He took Doran Shield, right?
Yeah.
He's there trying to survive.
Yeah, he just wants to farm up and live.
Lysandra, she can escape, a little bit harder to gank. Gangplank as well. You really got to abuse him until he gets his Trinity Force. He starts getting those 2-3 items. You got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and now he is a little bit in the lead as far as CS goes up in that top lane.
Hickman trying to engage. Gangplank on the other side of the map. Watching the flash.
That's a nice little play. Got some summoner spells. It seems like they was a little bit forced.
But that's something that Hickman has done continuously, even from last game. You find where you want to gank, you find where you want to put that pressure, and they commit the resources for it. And at least they burned a summoner spell out of it. Can Rockbridge do the exact same thing?
Yeah.
Can they set up a play, and can they force something out of it? Because the longer this game goes, we say it every single time we see it, it's a ticking time bomb.
Yes.
The longer this game goes, the bigger trouble they're going to be.
Yeah. It looks like there's a gank happening in the mid lane. Or at least he's just passing through, maybe. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen Peter commit to more ganks early on, pre-level 6.
We saw him do it last game with the Skarner.
Yeah, exactly. The stun landing. Trying to get some damage down, but just taking a lot in return. Oh, wow. That's a
maybe
big
too
barrel in the
much.
flash.
That's a flash up by
Oh
Dark
my
Quacker. No
gosh.
flash by Alex.
Yeah.
He can't get away.
That's classic Dark Quacker. I mean, you think you have an advantage against him there for a minute, and
And you
then
realize
all of a
partway
sudden,
through, like,
oh, wait
oh.
a second.
Dang.
Yeah, I have made a mistake.
I have made a mistake indeed.
So that's going to be huge for Hickman, honestly. They do some of their games, they live and die by
There's a
Dark
gank
Quacker.
though in the mid lane though. Alejandro committing to the
Oh,
kill.
wow.
Wham Lab will not escape. Going under
Oh,
tower.
he went under tower.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna
die
die
for
for
it. He
it.
commits to it. Was not going to escape from. Well, he could have escaped from that gank. He definitely.
He maybe
definitely
did
could have escaped
not
from that
need
gank.
to.
He had flash up. He could have
yeah.
escaped. So trading 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Burning the summoner spell there as well, but getting something else on the map. Dragon then was not secured by Hickman.
And this is looking, really familiar to game number 1 here so far in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, tied up 2-2. Rockbridge is in the lead by about 500 gold, which is not very large of a gold lead. Most of that is
much smaller lead than last game.
Yeah, a lot of that is in the first blood.
Yeah, you get the first blood, early gold.
Mm-hmm.
You are ahead in farm in the bot lane.
Yep.
Slightly in the jungle position.
Yep.
Support position as well. Look, support 13-0. That's an advantage.
Boom.
Right there.
Relic shield procs.
Support difference? Maybe. Look at the difference in farm. Now, for real, though, as again, coming in now to the 10-minute mark, teams are going to start completing that first item here very soon. And so far, Hickman has really showed that they have the ability to dictate, again, the early game.
Yeah.
You commit to those 4-man ganks, even though you don't have those ultimates. You force those summoner spells, and that's really just kind of what's more to come.
Right. And
Goes Peter, first gank in the top side.
And he's
Not
top lane.
Find it.
They're clearing wards in the dragon pit as well, now that they've seen Peter up top. They may try to go for this dragon, but I don't know if they'll have enough time. They have started it up. Alajaro's roamed down to help with it, but Whamlab's coming as well.
Ooh,
Go,
Gosupa
he's
will
got
get
ulted.
hit. The ultimate from Leisurely Owl
Oh,
will get
no.
locked down, and that's the damage that we're talking about from the bot side of Rockbridge High School. Make
This
the
could
plays
be a double
count.
kill.
They do have the farm advantage.
Oh,
Look at all the
another
minion
hook.
damage. Minion damage is very real, but Nautilus at the same time
Wow.
is kind of ridiculous right now. Look at the shield damage. And Rockbridge trying to commit to the Dragon. It is secured by Hickman High School, so Infernal Drake secured by the QPs, but they do lose 2 members on the bot side of the map. Opening it
Oh
up.
my
Now more
gosh.
going to escape with a sliver of health.
He's got
Will he get
nothing.
away? Peter tried to
Oh, I think
commit,
he
gets
is.
locked down by the Lissandra ultimate.
Pop the plant.
And that's going to be the end of that, but might
Yeah.
have lost the Dragon, but 2 kills on the bot
2
side.
kills.
And onto the Kaisa, exactly what you want. Well, 1 kill for Kaisa, 1 kill for Nautilus.
No, yeah, that's exactly what Rockbridge need to do. This is what we talked about earlier, is that they need to be able to make those proactive plays in the bot lane. They do have a hard lane to win against, but still, it's if they can keep this up. The Twitch is 0-1 and 0, 74 CS, so down in CS and everything. But in 10 minutes, if he's able to farm, he can still show up and obliterate your team once he gets an item or two.
Sure, you can't stop Twitch in the late game.
No.
You really can't.
So yeah,
Especially now with this team, you got some CC to deal
Yeah.
with. You could try to run away from the Nautilus ultimates. Coswell could maybe get on top of him.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the difference in the top lane already, though. Only has a Sheen, while Dark Quacker just secured his Trinity Force.
Yep.
Oof, that's a big difference up there.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and if Dark Quacker can get that first turret up there pretty soon, then he'll be able to make those plays around the map, and just like what we saw last game, essentially. But yeah, Rockbridge really needs to start dictating the pace of this game now that they do have a slight lead. Still only 500 gold about, which is kind of surprising, even though they just picked up those 2 kills in the bottom lane.
Yeah, how do you do that? Potentially, what I would maybe consider doing is trying to set up your bot lane in a way that the Twitch has to push. You freeze him outside of it,
Yep.
try to starve him a little bit more, force
Exactly.
him to make a mistake because Gozubot will try to be aggressive. They're going to try to force members down, prepare it, have your mid laner on standby, have a teleport on Kosovo. On the bot side, they're looking for an engage.
They're trying to get
Hickman
the
High
Kaisa
School trying to counter
flash.
it.
The dodgers on the Nautilus hook.
Yeah, they did force the flash from my call, so AD carry for Rockbridge, no summoner spell for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, they may be able to try again for a second gank here in a moment. And it looks like they're going to right now.
Ooh.
Oh no, somebody got executed by the Rift Herald.
Ooh, unfortunate there. Rockbridge
Oh, there's
jungler falling victim, and that just opens up the map for
Oh,
Hickman
can
High
they
School.
get it?
They know that
one more.
Peter is
Bonk.
not there, and that's going to be a double kill for Hickman. The moment they saw, well, maybe they didn't see it.
Yeah.
They'll know that he's executed, but they make the play again. And unfortunately for Rockbridge, nothing on the table that they can capitalize on with that pressure on the bot side.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there with Peter. I mean, he just must have been trying to solo Rift Herald and maybe overestimated his abilities and underestimated Rift Herald's damage.
We can't either forget. We can't also forget the global ultimate from Dark Quacker.
Yes, that was.
Last season we saw a lot of Shen. Shen was a big pick for him. Teleporting to the other side of the map, always something to be wary of. And now it's the Gangplank ultimate. You get slowed down. You don't really have disengage tools or escape tools on your champion.
Right.
And here it is.
He's
in
trying
the
to chase him down, but
he's trying to run away.
Back
Oh
and
my
forth.
Shinderu. You think you can flash away?
Oh,
no, you are already dead. Oh my. But with that, Dark Quacker pulling ahead even further, 5-4. Gold lead or first kill lead has been swapped. Now up by 2,000 gold. The QPs have pulled ahead in game number 2. First tower of the game will also fall, and that's a big Gangplank.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, like try as they might, Rockbridge just still has not been able to control the pace of this game. They've been putting a lot of their resources down in the bot lane, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
I would put more resources down. Send everything in the kitchen sink.
Exactly.
Get that Twitch out of here. They found a double kill, but you look at the tower, right? They didn't even secure one plate with the double kill they found on the bot side.
I'm surprised that Lysandra, Elahero hasn't roamed down to this bot lane to try to help out, but. Oh.
Yep, Oriana did find the first blood. Now 1-1-1, down by 20 farm in the mid lane. Top lane, we're seeing a 40 farm difference. A little bit difficult there. Here comes the engage.
Big ultimate.
Ultimate going onto the support, but that's how you do it. Commit everything.
Exactly.
Ghost to bot has been eliminated. 5-5. Peter was there for the backup for the support in case they see a counter gank, but without the Twitch there, do they have the damage to defend? I don't think they
might
do.
be able to get this
so
turret.
this is the turret. This is all they had to do from the beginning.
Gangplank ult. Trying to clear the wave. I mean.
There's that.
They might not be able to get it.
But just like that, right?
Right.
Even with the Sejuani there, you have the damage, you have the champions to blow up that Twitch. Take advantage of that. Do that from the beginning of the game, because at this point, things are going to start getting out of control here. Dark Quacker is already sitting on a 2-1-2, 250 gold bounty, almost up by
CS.
already up by 50. Exactly, up by 50 farm already in his lane.
Yeah. And I mean, it is Kasuo's first game of the series tonight.
Yeah,
so
just
he's still kind of getting warmed up.
And he's off rolling, right? He technically plays the mid lane primarily.
Exactly.
So being thrust into a substitute position against Dark Quacker is not the most favorable of situations to be in.
Another big hook hit, but that
Here
is
comes
a
the teleport, though. Kasuo will make it to this fight, but Mike calls the AD carry, gets caught out by the Sedge ult. That's a little bit unfortunate there. Do you have the damage out to it?
Oh,
they do have the damage.
That is so much damage.
Leisurely Owl comes in with the engage. Whamlab has also made it to the party. Unfortunately, there, Hickman High School spreads perfectly.
Yep.
And Peter, by the way, is not able to capitalize on anything, and that will be the Mountain Drake secured by the QPs.
Yeah, and this is going to be huge for them. They're going to be able to push down turrets much easier with the Mountain Drake. Probably have more Baron control as well when that spawns here in about 3 minutes.
That's a little bit unfortunate there. Coming into the 16-minute mark, QPs still up by 2,000 gold. Gold lead hasn't grown much larger.
No.
Up by 1 kill, and now both in Inferno Drake and in Mountain Drake. 2 different Drakes that we didn't see at all last game.
Those are the 2 best Drakes in the game. Mountain and Inferno.
No, we can't argue on that one. Those are, you never will turn down one of those. You think I could kill people better? And, I could do more damage to towers and stuff? Great. I'll take those any day.
Yeah, I think this game for Rockbridge, it's really all on the bot lane still at this point. They're going to need to try to get into some team fights, be able to make some picks across the map. Might even send Leisurely out up to the mid lane, see if they can get a pick with the hook.
And something noted too by Peter, I don't know, did you see it in that last fight? I don't think he has his form yet.
No, I do not think he does.
We're at the 17-minute mark, and I don't think Kane has got his form at this point, which is very, very unfortunate for Rockbridge. Again, we talked about the comp that they drafted, and we're going to start getting to the point in the mid-game, 20 minutes, where they're going to start to fall off here, which isn't not great. Not everyone's going to fall off, right? You know, Kaisa, you'll get stronger and stronger.
Wow, they're really
what do you
going
do when you
for
get
this.
locked down by that CC? You don't have a lot of disengage. Your peel's not quite there. You can't get away from it. Leisurely Owl now is left trying to escape. Teleport's going to come in by the blue side. Cosmo's coming in with
no health.
50% health. He was just taking a beating there as he was teleporting by Dark Quacker.
They're going to lose
and
this
now,
turret.
Not only do they lose the bot tower, but Dark Quacker has free reign on the top side.
And Gozubot's going to try to make a play to see if he can catch Kasuo.
Not going to catch it, but that's just objectives for Hickman High School.
Mhm.
First tier bot tower goes down. On the top side, Dark Quacker picks
Second
up
tier is
the
coming
second
down.
tier. Exactly.
Yeah, and Dark Quacker, I mean, he could 1v1 anybody on the team at this point. They're going to have to send multiple members to deal with his pressure.
Yep, very
Looks like
uncharacteristic.
what they're going to be doing, though.
And this is very uncharacteristic of Rockbridge. Draft early game, it doesn't look like they're there. They're not completely in it.
Right.
Because this is the kind of comp that they wanted. This is exactly the kind of comp that you're used to winning with.
Yeah.
But the tempo just not there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that the substitution may be affecting them a little bit, but that's a really hard lane to go against there in the top lane. But yeah, I'm just kind of surprised that the Kaisa Nautilus is struggling so hard right now.
Yeah, they've gotten to the point in the game where they have the damage to take them down. You come down, you can't avoid the ultimates from both Sejuani
Right.
and Alejero, right? As the Kaisa,
Yeah.
your job is to go in. You can't really get out that easily.
Mm-hmm.
And Hickman High School doing exactly what they need to. They've scaled
switch
to
right
the
there.
point where they're strong enough to fight. Wham Lab
So
will
much
not escape.
damage.
Gosubot's now on a rampage.
Look
He
at
was having a
that.
tough time in lane, but he's come online. Blade
Yeah.
of the Rune King already purchased, 5-2-0.
And a BF sword now.
Yeah, he's getting real strong. And what kind of plays do you
Oh,
make
that's-
here? Ultimate going down onto the Nami.
That's just kind of trying to delay the inevitable right there.
And the fight is going to be turned around. Hickman High School picking up picks here and there. Mid laner down, support down. First tier in the mid lane also destroyed. Make that the second tier as well.
They have a lot of pressure here, and Baron's going to be, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that
hate to
damage.
see
And
it
the
happen.
Sejuani ult coming through.
As an AD carry, man,
Oh no.
you kind of just look at that and you just kind of, yeah, it doesn't feel too good.
They're going to get an inhibitor off of this.
Yeah, and again, we've entered the mid game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, it looks we may be entering the end game, possibly.
Rockbridge High School backs against
Oh,
the
there's the
wall.
ult.
Whatever
Wow,
it
that's
takes.
so much
Big
damage,
ultimate by
though.
Wham Lab. He's going to try to go in. Peter, by the way, has ulted onto the Sejuani.
Gosubot
Running away
trying
from the backside. Dark Quacker's unstoppable as Oriana does drop. Gosubot also drops. Great pickup there by Leisurely Owl, but the damage is so far out of control by the triple
This is
kill from
such a crazy
Gangplank.
fight.
Look at the damage. Another barrel. Parlay also going to come up, and Kaisa
Oh my
does
gosh.
not have the ability to escape. Quadra kill by
kill.
Dark Quacker. He wasn't even
Yep.
keeping track of it. Incredible there. And you look at the Kaisa trying to get away from the Sejuani. So
Yeah.
sticky, so tanky. You don't have a way to get through it. That is a champion that has incredible impact in both games 1 and 2. You got to wonder, now we're going to get in game 3 because game 2's over.
Right.
Nexus is going down. Dark Quacker still with enough health and enough damage to take down anyone. The Sejuani also there. I think she's recovering health. Like, you see, she's not
Yeah,
taking any
I
damage.
know.
She's
Yeah.
literally recovered health. And that's going to be
There
game
it
number
is.
2.
Wow. And Hickman do it again, and this time a more dominant fashion even. But, I mean, Rockbridge's team comp, they just didn't execute what they needed to do.
Exactly. You look at the way they drafted. First game, you try to match him toe-to-toe. You make a mistake, that's fine. I wouldn't really feel bad about game 1. Game number 2, though, you draft early, you fail to play early.
Yeah.
We talked about win conditions. They weren't there.
No, and the bot lane was looking really good, but Peter, by the way, just didn't have any impact.
Yep. And it's a little bit hard, right? If your bot lane's pushing in, that's
Yeah.
something, maybe that's some synergy too, right? You know you're going to be winning, so maybe you don't push the lane in, so make it easier for the
Right.
Kane to come in for ganks. That might have been a solution, but maybe not taking advantage of the weakness in the Twitch and the Nami.
Yeah.
I know I personally would have been trying to engage every single time. I'd
Exactly.
be walking through minions, just
Yes.
trying to hit the Twitch, lock
Yep.
him down, and I'd be going in on him nonstop, but that wasn't quite there. And maybe like a level of respect too. Like you have a substitute in your top lane. Maybe you just try to play it slow. But if stalling was the name of the game for Rockbridge High School, it did not get done there because that game ended very quickly.
And honestly, too, I think that one of the things that they need to do is try to defend their top lane turret as much as possible, because it seems like once Dark Quacker is free from the top lane, they just lose every fight.
Maybe you opt in for a more tankier approach in the top side. You stall it down, you slow it up a little bit. In the next game, I'd definitely try taking away the Sejuani. I think it's a big pick.
Sejuani is
you
a huge
might
pick
try
for
to
them.
isolate because Nathan Elmore, you might be a damaging character, but
Right?
that boy's tanky.
So tanky and so sticky. You just lock everybody down.
Yeah, I'd say continue playing through the bot lane. Rockbridge High School's bot lane looking incredibly strong.
Yeah.
We're going to find out, though, in a little bit. Game number 2, Hickman High School leads 2-0.
Yep.
Are we going to see the reverse sweep? It might be possible.
We'll
see.
You
See
know,
in just a
never
little
really
bit.
know.
With that, though, we're going to tune out those. We take a little break as we prepare the stage, and they plan for game number 3. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back in just a little bit. to game number 3. Game number 3 between
Game
Hickman
3.
and Rockbridge. And something that can be said of all of the series that we've seen thus far, between Battle Blue and between Hickman, between Rockbridge and between Hickman last week, is when their backs are against the wall, we've consistently seen teams step up.
Oh, yeah.
And now that comes with a grain of salt, because while those teams stepped up and they looked the strongest when it was match point, Hickman
Yeah.
Purple last week against Rockbridge, Battle Blue up against Hickman as well. Or was it Rockbridge? It was Battle Blue against Rockbridge, yeah.
Yeah.
They looked the best that we had seen them the entire series. They still lost.
They still lost. Yeah.
So can they turn that around? Is it the reverse sweep incoming?
Right.
Rockbridge High School, they definitely have the potential to win a match here. I think the biggest obstacle they have right now is this comp that they're up against. They can't beat it. They've tried 2 different ways. They're still struggling. So do you double down, or do you try to rip that comp apart? Forget the bans that you've been putting out already.
Right.
Do you have a way to break open this protect the 80 carry comp?
Sure, yeah. Do they opt to ban the Sejuani, and do they opt to ban the Gangplank possibly? But then it just opens up
The
lot
Darius,
more
the
options.
Vane,
Yeah.
the Zoe.
Right.
Those are 3 picks that I think are kind of must bans.
Oh, definitely. And that's one of the great things. That's why Hickman is so strong, is because they have these champions that you have to commit the bans to, which will kind of limit the team compositions that you can make and you play against.
I'm trying to think, what would our approach be if we had to? Yeah, Hickman Purple, they had this approach one time. Initially, it was is you leave the Darius up game 1.
Yeah.
You leave it up and you prepare a comp around it, because you know he's going to pick it. You know exactly what he's going to pick.
Right.
And it leaves more bans you can put on everyone else. I think you need to maybe ban Sejuani. That's a
Sure.
real difficult
Yes.
champion. Keep banning away those 80 carries that GoSubot's comfortable on, even though they were kind of taken apart by the Twitch later on in this one.
Yeah.
That's an option. Maybe you leave up one of those picks and you prepare an answer for it. Has Rockbridge prepared an answer for the Zoe, for the Darius?
Right.
I'm not really sure.
Or do you just ban, Dark Quacker out completely?
What do you do?
You commit a ton of bans to
what
him.
3 bans are you going to
and
put out there?
Then just
5 bans?
Yeah.
Because is it just Dark Quacker that's the problem here?
Right. Well, you're not wrong. I mean, the bot lane is they're just outplaying their opponents.
Yeah, it looks like we're ready to go. Got the go-ahead. We're ready to jump into champion select for game number 3. Match point for the Hickman High School Cupies. This could be the last match tonight.
Yep.
And I don't know. It's tough. The last game was very, very tough for Rockbridge. It does not look like their top laner was able to substitute to make it back in time, so we will be seeing Kosovo once more into Michael Zoe in the top lane. And it could be. It's tough.
Is this the Sonateric game?
Maybe you entirely throw a different curveball.
Sure.
You try to throw them off guard. We're going to find out,
Yeah.
though, as we're coming into champion select here. They have not swapped sides again, so Rockbridge High School electing to stay on the blue side, meaning they'll get first pick.
There is the Darius ban, so they went ahead, got rid of that. Do not want to have to deal with that again. And there's a Vane ban coming from Hickman. They don't want to have to go against my call's Vane there.
Yeah, those first picks, and I'd be okay with that.
Right.
I'd almost ban all. For Hickman, it's working, right? Put all
Right.
your bans against my call, maybe.
We got a Gangplank ban.
There we go. Going to mix it up a little bit.
So, yeah, we're going to have to see a different top laner coming out from Dark Quacker.
Now, what do you ban next? You kind of have to ban Zoe, right?
Yeah,
Zoe's a big deal.
you have to ban. I mean,
It's always a big deal. You have the 80 carries, too. Do you ban Kaisa? Do you leave it up? If you're going to
Right.
first pick that. Sejuani, that's another big pick.
mhm.
Morgana. Ooh,
Yeah.
they're leaving the Zoe up. Maybe they leave the Zoe up first pick it, but that leaves the Kaisa for Rockbridge to pick,
Right.
or Hickman to pick then.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a very interesting draft here. The Morgana ban's very, very interesting because the only reason you take away a Morgana is because you're going for something that's going to hard engage.
Yes.
You're getting rid of that block shield,
Yeah.
something that allows to protect your teammates.
Right. They could be picking an Ashe. I mean, it's more of a utility
go.
80 carry, but
Vladimir left up very, very strong. I think this is a very safe pick in the top lane.
Yes.
I like Vladimir a lot in this current meta.
Yeah.
And
we're going to see
What are they
the
playing
Nasus
into?
over.
so
Aurelia?
Aurelia swapping champions here. Malphite,
Malphite,
Tank,
Yasuo,
Teemo.
What's it going to be?
Teemo, give the people what they want.
Oh, that's the
no,
Jax.
it's a Jax ban. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to see some
okay
split
with
pushing.
that. Split pushing, and that's
Yeah.
here. Cheers from the audience. We all know what Jax is capable
Right.
of,
It's a good pick.
and that opens up a lot of possibilities here. You got dive onto the back line. You have split pushing potential. You just have hyper carry potential on its own.
Right, yeah.
And another comfortable pick here. A little cheese pick coming out from Nelmore. Karthus,
Yeah,
very
Karthus
meta
in
in
the
the jungle.
jungle.
Very meta right now in the jungle. It's something
Right.
that Nelmore has played numerous times already.
Yeah, and I've seen him use it pretty effectively. He is really, really good at timing those ultimates.
Oh, swapping
to
it
do
up
that
here,
damage.
by the way, getting
Now
Skarner.
getting the Skarner.
The Skarner Tex.
Sure, and that could have been one of the reasons why they banned Morgana as well.
Yeah, very
that
difficult
they were
champion
planning
to
on
deal with
playing.
last game.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, they had the Morgana in game 1, actually. But yeah, you keep it, protect your teammates. I
Yeah.
like it. Oh, they're
Let's
going
see.
all in
Yep.
on the Hickman comp this time. Let's
Mhm.
just go for
Let's just play what they played.
Now imagine they pick Kaisa first as well.
Yeah, let's see.
So far, I'm really liking the draft.
I mean-
but this though, this is it, right?
yeah.
You didn't ban Zoe. It had to have been left.
Yeah, the bubbles. Alejero is very, very good.
You're hearing the cheers from the audience.
Yeah.
What's so scarier, Darkwacker's Darius or Alejero Zoe? Because this champion basically brought him up an entire division. He went all the way up to like Plat 2 in a week on this
I
champion.
mean, his
so,
Zoe is pretty crazy to watch.
it demands respect.
Yes, it does.
And maybe we talked about before. Maybe they had a plan for this. They said we're
Yeah.
going to leave Zoe up. They're going to pick it. I very much so doubt Rockbridge didn't realize Hickman was
Oh,
going to get
no.
Zoe.
Yeah.
You see your bans. They knew he was going to get Zoe. So what is the answer here? Skarner is a pretty good pick into.
Yeah, Skarner's a good pick into
Zoe.
everybody they have right now, honestly.
Same with Lysandra.
And it is very smart to ban the Morgana as well. And they banned Sejuani now, too.
Now I want to see more wave clear though. If they did pick the Kaisa in the first round here,
Yeah.
that's some wave clear. But
Yep.
do you have to disengage? Can Kaisa get away from the Jax? You got to avoid Zoe,
Mhm.
avoid the Karthus. Kind of hard, right? So.
Yeah. It looks like Hickman.
Oh, maybe they got Kaisa. That's interesting. If Hickman High School got the wow,
Yes, they did.
So what 80 carry? What did
Yeah,
they
I'm not
use
sure.
as their first pick here? Leaving the Kaisa up is I very much so thought that they were going to pick
mean,
that, right?
Draven, I mean.
Is
they're-
that the pick? So
I don't
You're
know.
focusing on your bot side. You want some disengage. Is Draven the champion you picked? I mean, I understand leaving Kaisa up as a priority pick, one of the two champions alongside the Vayne that are incredible. Obviously, they picked
The
their 80 carry
Lucian.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. All in with the
So,
early game. I'm okay
yes.
with this, too. I'm
Yeah.
okay with this as well. What's interesting, though, is that they're going all in again for the early game start. Kaisa, Zoe, two heavily contested picks that were either must picked or must banned, were both left up. And honestly, for Rockbridge, for a moment there, when I saw Kaisa being hovered by Ghostbot, I was
Yeah.
like, holy, are they just throwing this game away? I
Right.
don't know what's going on. But then again, I think about it. No, you double down. You play to your strengths. Early game, early game, early game. Give them Kaisa, give them Zoe, but let's not let them get strong enough where Zoe can one-shot us.
Yeah.
Let's use Braum to block those those paddle stars. Let's not let Kaisa get ahead because they just gave them that same bot lane. Can
Yeah.
Ghostbot and can Cookie, who's been playing a little bit more Nautilus, can Renee Tellman play this bot lane, the Kaisa Nautilus, a little bit better than we saw from
Right.
Rockbridge last game.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be all about landing those hooks. Braum is a really, really good pick into the comp that Hickman drafted as
Yeah.
well.
On the other side, though, they have all the perfect tools to deal with a Kaisa and a Zoe.
Yeah.
Multiple champions that cannot really escape from anything. And you have the Lysandra, you have the Skarner, you have the Lucian. These are all champions, along with the Braum, that would have been great against Rockbridge's team last time. It's like they swap sides. They're going to play Hickman's comp, but play it early game.
Yeah.
They're going to adapt it. So, arguably, I'm sitting there thinking they're insane. Not banning away the Kaisa, not picking it first, not banning away the Zoe, not first picking it. But then again, they drafted around it. And that's the play. If there's must-ban champions that you have to adapt for every single game,
Right.
maybe you, instead of banning them, you adapt to it.
Exactly.
So a very big statement being made in game number 3, a very risky move by Rockbridge High School. And I don't know. If it pays off, though, this is going to be an incredible shift of momentum.
Oh,
Probably
definitely.
the exact shift of momentum that they need for that reverse sweep that they are desperately playing for right now.
Exactly.
Everything is on the line here. Match point.
Yep.
If they lose this game, they are out.
They're done.
They're seniors for the most part. They're going home. And that's the end of their run for tonight.
No trophy. But I think they've adapted well. I mean, once again, they always have a really strong draft. They seem like they know what they want to do, but it's been the the overpowering like solo lane play from Hickman. Not that their draft doesn't synergize well too, but Rockbridge.
Yeah, this seems like
Their
the
draft
first
is-
time that Rockbridge is coming into it with an answer to Hickman.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, though, is this risk going to pay off? Because you're leaving two very big priority picks up. You know,
Yes.
the Jax as well. That's already terrifying. We'll talk
Right.
about more of that later. But are the champions that you prioritize, or the bands that you took away, the Gangplank, the Morgana, and whatever champions they first pick for Rockbridge, is that worth giving away Zoe and Kaisa? Is it worth it?
We're just going to have to see. I mean, unfortunately, I think Zoe's going to win this mid lane matchup pretty easily.
Honestly, it's going to be real hard. Luckily enough, if you get hit by the bubble, you do have time to escape with your Glacial Path. You can probably get away in time. But at the same time, that's the question here. That is the risk. That is the gamble that the Bruins are taking in game number 3.
But that takes away all of Lissandra's like proactivity away, constantly using her abilities to
right?
escape.
Because you're going to basically give away mid lane. It's all about this bot lane getting ahead, and they have to really secure those towers and start to rotate. If they're able to put more pressure from the bot lane to the mid lane, that's what's up, right? Vladimir, hopefully you can just stay alive in the top lane. You scale up.
Right.
I like the Vladimir pick a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's... I think they have the tools, and they drafted around the comp that they expected. I think that they knew what was going to be picked by Hickman, right? You leave them up. That's just it, right? You leave up those champions in the pick and ban phase, so you know they'll pick them.
Yeah,
you know
kinda bait 'em
exactly
into it.
what you're playing into. And I think Rockbridge High School, that's exactly what they thought Hickman was going to play. That's what I'd say. I'd say that's exactly what they thought they were going to play for the most part. Maybe differences in the jungle.
Yeah, maybe not Nautilus support.
Maybe not Nautilus support. But
I mean, I feel like they Rockbridge got the Hickman comp that they expected and possibly wanted. So we'll see if they have the tools to be able to turn this game around with the comp that they drafted. Maybe,
yeah. And I think that's the interesting point here. Both teams got arguably what they wanted. This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
Last game, I said Hickman both games. I said Hickman is probably going to take both games. Game number 3 here, gamble on the Rift. Everything on the line. I'm going to say Rockbridge.
You're going to say Rockbridge?
I'm going to give it to Rockbridge. I think Rockbridge gamble is going to pay off in this game.
I mean, they did get the Skarner, and Brom's going to be a really good pick too. But honestly, giving away Zoe and Jax they're going to have to know exactly what to do against these champions. Because they're so strong in their lanes right now. Hickman's top laner, Darkwacker on Jax, and Alahero on Zoe.
I know. I feel crazy saying it.
I can't believe
against
we
the
see
Zoe
it in
and
finals.
the Jax. But that's just it. You said the one thing that you got to focus on the most going into this game is mentality. What is the mindset for Rockbridge like going into this potential last game?
Exactly.
And when you see this, when you see that they still have the confidence to make a gamble such as this one. This is unheard of.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I go back all the way when SKT and Samsung Galaxy, when they left up the LeBlanc into LeBlanc. Faker's LeBlanc was undefeated.
And then
they had a plan for it. They left it up. You're like, that's insane in Game 5, and they beat it.
Right, and they trounced him. So maybe this is their time to show that they know how to play against Alahero and Zoe.
Hickman not going to get invaded on this time. Rockbridge, as always, going for their invade.
Yeah. Oh, the side
swapping
swap.
sides.
That's so funny.
They're swapping sides. Who does this favor, though, in the end?
I feel like these two teams, they know each other so well that they kind of out-mind game themselves.
Yep. I'll give the early game, though, definitely to Rockbridge. The Braum early is so
Braum Lucian is an insane lane. You get the
they're going to run into each other. Here they come.
Oh, they're coming
but
up
they're not
behind.
prepared, though. They split, though. Oh, unfortunately for Rockbridge, they split up. If they had grouped there in that bush, that would have been the play they needed. Oh, that's so
there's
unfortunate
a bubble
there.
going through.
Now the Kite's got a dissing. Oh, they're going to go for it. I don't know what's going on.
They
it's
still
a monkey
fight.
fest early on. But the Braum, look at those
5v5.
stuns flashing away.
So much damage done.
Only one proc. They wasn't able to get procs on multiple people.
They're trying to get it.
And that the most important thing, though, about the Braum, first blood for Hickman High School.
Oh, that is...
See, now I look like a dummy saying that Rockbridge had the advantage. But the Braum has to get procs on multiple individuals.
There's a pause.
Pause coming out by...
It's the stall.
The stalling tactics. I spilled my drink.
Concert's
That's what
over.
happened. We're going to look at it. They fix it in less than a minute. So we'll be back here in just a moment. So that's okay.
Yeah.
So every minute counts. Doesn't matter if you... what are they going to do? They're going to swap their top later in mid-game. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
How do my controls work? You ever had that? Your swap controls, and we had at summer camp one time actually. It was like a weird game. People were being really rowdy, and so we said, you know what? Whenever you lose, just for fun, everyone has to stand up and swap seats with their partner. And it's all fun and games until you get to that partner that has one of those weird Ouroboros setups. And it's like you got like you're like, what am I looking at?
Or
why did your key say F9? What am I using? And that's a headache.
Or putting flash on D.
Yeah, it's like, oh lordy,
why would you do this to me?
Why do my keys don't work? I don't know how to play this game. Yeah, so that's the thing. But That's
Yeah,
crazy.
first blood for Kaisa is huge for Hickman.
Huge for Hickman.
Honestly, it's going to be pretty difficult for Rock. I mean, that was a wacky level
see,
1.
See the difference there, though. When they had the advantage, when they were sitting in the bush, we see it right there above dot bush. The advantage that you have when they walk into you, since a lot of your champions are melee, is you got to get multiple procs.
Yeah.
Off. When they got the mark, they put the mark onto Renee Tellman.
Yeah.
They put the Braum passive onto the
Nautilus.
tankiest member
Yeah.
of their team, and that's impossible to burn through. The trick, when you're using a Braum. And Lucian and all that, you got to get as many marks on as many members as possible. So you stun them over and over again. You're able to layer that damage. As well as we saw, Rockbridge High School didn't commit to that. They had some members attacking, some members were starting to retreat, and that was a big issue there, right? Braum had to immediately flash out, only got marks on one person, and they lost that early game, which is unfortunate. We're seeing everyone getting zoned out here. Kosovo, Alex Yu is also in trouble. Going to get zoned out of a lot of farm here, or at least the XP.
Yeah.
You have to walk all the way around.
We're going to see how this lane shakes out now.
Luckily, though, GoSubot Matthew Perkins was not able to recall to spend that first blood goal.
That's
there we go. That's the damage we're talking about. Forced to burn heal. Matthew Perkins will back off. Braum Lucian. Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Makes me, I get the tingles here. I know. I love that lane.
Braum Lucian, that's one of my
like
favorite
it.
lanes as well.
I like it.
It's
I
so
like
fun. You just keep adding those procs on there, keep getting those stuns. It's a good time. Oh, there's a stun coming through on that Counter-Strike against the Vlad. Just farming away up here in the top lane. Who got the assist gold? We got it on Karthus. in the
Everyone
jungle.
but Darkwacker.
Yep, that's okay. He's just going to want to stay in this lane as long as he can. Anyway, he did take a fair amount of damage there.
He already used all of his corrupting pots.
Mm-hmm.
So unable to sustain.
Yeah, he's going to have to let that wave kind of push back into him if Kosovo will let it.
Yeah, again, it looks like the pause was due to frame issues, I believe.
Yeah.
So it looks like that was solved. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you're running multiple programs. I've seen players playing Minecraft at the same time as them playing League. I don't understand that. Like, my game's lagging. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that, but it looks like it was solved. Hopefully there will be no more pauses. Again, fortunately for Rockbridge, the game just stalled was last game.
Yeah.
And, but their top laner is on their way back. Can they survive?
Can they win? Yeah. That's
against the
a
wall
real
here.
question. A lot of damage coming down, but Vlad really doesn't care about that. He should be able to.
Yeah,
drain
Darkwacker
back
did
up.
recall and teleport back to lane. Kosovo has yet to make it back. Peter, by the way, positioned, but unfortunately there's a very large minion wave.
Yeah.
Probably going to have to back off here.
He's looking, but he doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't want to face the Jax 1v1 in the bush there, being level down.
Yeah,
He's going to go
Darkwacker.
back into his jungle and farm.
Not sure if they sighted him or are they just assuming that he was on the top side. It was pinged.
He has done that the last 2 games, I think about this time, where he goes into that bush right there. So, looks like Alejero taking a huge lead in CS here in the first 4 minutes of the game.
And that's Zoe for
And,
you.
yeah.
That's that's his champion. And as far as tricks go, it's about
A
as
stun.
tricky as you get. But
Lots of damage.
one of the tankiest
Ignite.
players,
Take it.
though, get a mark so onto GoSubot. Doesn't have any mana. Do they
Not
have
enough
they commit?
damage.
They don't.
Wow.
Unfortunate. You got to worry about those cooldowns early on.
Oh my
almost!
gosh.
I would have committed. I would have flashed.
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
I would have
Oh,
flashed.
absolutely.
I would
That's
have.
a
I would
secure
have.
kill.
Yep. I would have gone off. Hopefully, I would have had triumph.
You might have gotten
I would
double
have
killed.
got. Yeah, maybe I got the triumph back. Recovered some health. When they're that low, and
Right.
You're an early
Oh
game,
my
right?
gosh.
You commit to that.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah, because if you traded, then it's not really a problem, especially
Ooh-wee.
the way the CS is going. But wow, yeah, Cookie down there with
Guess it depends on
sub 10
cooldowns.
health.
Yeah, because if you have the cooldowns to flash commit to
Right.
that, Braum jumps to you, you get a mark on the Kaisa, that's a double kill in your direction.
Yeah, that Braum Lucian lane doing exactly what we thought. The
That's
pool.
Probably going to
Yeah.
recall here. He does still have teleport up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a little bit late, though. They're probably going to miss a little bit of farm here.
Yeah, but he might stay. He's gonna try and get this last wave.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
Dangerous.
But
Everything's dangerous this game. Everything.
Oh,
ooh,
I know.
My toes are... I'm feeling it on the edge of my seat. I wish I had a seat. I'm standing.
oh yeah,
It's okay, though. Game
this
3.
is about my 12th hour of standing.
Here we go. I'll stand for another 12 hours if it means we get 12 more hours of games.
Seriously.
As I say that, though, I don't know if our observers feel the same way. It doesn't matter, though, because this game, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the tension, the pressure. You can almost taste it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It's
ready.
very tangible.
Bot sides, they both reset.
Yeah, this bot lane is
BF sword bot now by the Kaisa.
pretty nuts, actually. Blocking a lot of the damage with the shield there. See.
Yeah, stiff over here. The hard part of this lane here for both teams here. Let's look at the side for Michael and Sean. You have to really get onto the Kaisa. Luckily enough, she doesn't have an ability to escape, but the Nautilus is so sticky. The Nautilus' job is really to get onto the Lucian and separate the two. Kaisa can just peel away at the Braum over time, and that's kind of the way you want to play it, where you got to really commit to the Kaisa on the other hand. And so it's really weird. But the longer this game goes in the scaling, obviously we know Kaisa is going to get real strong.
Yeah. Kaisa will get
there
really
it goes.
strong
Somebody got a mark
But
onto
another
Gosubot.
one.
You see the damage, exhausted. She doesn't have any abilities to escape. Actually, I lied. She does have flash up. And there's the Nautilus.
They're just gonna try
playing
to
the
turn it.
sticky game. Nautilus being sticky.
Oh no, that a little bit too far.
Forced
There's
to burn
the
the flash. Incredible.
Look at how
there.
much. Nautilus though, one tick away.
Forced the flash away. There goes the minions. Not quite enough.
Oh, gonna get stunned.
But getting the marks. Peter's
Oh,
coming in as
Skarner's
well.
here.
They get the
Pop the
stun.
Predator.
There it goes. Predator pops.
There's the
Michael
kill.
picks up a kill onto Cookie. Excellently played by both teams there.
wow.
Right there, Cookie. You have to play interference. You get in the way of the Braum. Help
Sure.
make those minions help you out. Because for Lucian and Braum, they're likely going to get that minion aggro when they're trying to commit to the Kaisa.
Yeah.
Great positioning by Gozubot. Forced to flash away. Almost turned it around. A tick of health there by Sean.
Oh my gosh.
Critical pressure.
He got a solo kill.
Solo
Look
kill
at
in the top
Darkwalker.
lane. Kosovo, Alex Zhu, mid laner, by the way.
They're really turning it
Gets
up
a
right
kill
now.
onto the top lane. That's not something you expect. You kind of expect the Vladimir to be safe.
Right.
Again, later on, Dark Quacker on Jax, that's a scary champion. But
Sure,
putting him behind early is incredible,
Exactly.
especially as a Vladimir. You get your Vladimir online, you can just blow up that Kaisa, blow up the Zoe. That's a very good look for Rockbridge.
And right now, Karthus has to farm, so you're not going to see, a lot of like ganks and stuff from him. So now's the time to act. If you can make those like big plays, those 1v1s, or bring Skarner down, Peter coming down to the bot lane and securing those kills. Now's the time to do it.
This is the most proactive we've seen them.
Yes.
We say it. Backs against the wall, game point, the teams come alive. But it is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Karthus. Karthus is playing in the jungle because in late game and you have so much damage, it's just a kill button. You press R.
Yeah.
Dark Quacker, Jax, smack, smack, smack. How do you stop it?
Right.
Zoe, Kaisa, what are you going to do? And of course, the Nautilus over top. Late game, this is a scary, scary comp.
And Alejero being 20 CS up with that 1 assist, still, something to worry about. It is 2-1 now. Typically around this time, I think both last games, they were 2-2. So Rockbridge having a slight advantage now. Only up 200 gold, though, even with those 2 kills. But yeah, Karthus hanging out in the river, trying to get some wards down.
Level 6 is going to be a big deal for every
for this
single
Mountain
team. The
Drake.
Requiem's going to be a big point of contention for Nelmore. He will have his ultimate, that AoE pressure that Hickman just loves to draft. They love AoE.
Yeah,
Or AoE across the map. Global stuff? That's what they love.
And no vision here. Oh, they dropped a ward there. Weren't able to get it. Ult coming down.
Oh, engaged,
They're
though.
going to try to turn this.
Bot lane's coming in.
That's so much damage
Mountain
from Lucian.
Drake
They gotta
secured
get
by
out of
Hickman
there.
Gold, but another kill.
flash.
Oh, kill. The flash impale.
Oh,
Down
wow.
goes Ghostbot. He gets a kill. That's a bunch of damage that they need. On the top lane, though, Darkwacker tried to turn things around. He will get
There
the
he got
solo
the
kill
kill.
in return.
So
On the bot side, they lose the dragon but pick up 2 kills.
Yeah.
Going over to both the jungler and the AD carry.
And honestly, that was a really risky dragon to go for Hickman. I mean, they didn't have a pick or anything, so they just kind of went for it and paid for it.
Ooh. Lucian coming online. We've seen
Yeah.
Michael playing this numerous times. We've seen him play this. Actually, we've seen Rockbridge playing this early game comp into a late game comp and still performing because the Lucian was so strong.
Right.
So, we talk about getting outscaled. It doesn't really matter if your Lucian goes up 2-3
No, if they
items.
win, and if they win in 25 minutes, it won't matter. I mean, right now, it's going to be a lot on Alejero to try to make some, big plays here.
Yeah, he's going to start getting strong. And, of course, the top lane, Jax returned the solo kill. The goals
Yeah.
really even on the top side. They're even in CS, even in kills now.
Yeah, that's pretty expected. It's going to be this bot lane that's going to be the difference here. And this is what I kind of expected to see from Rockbridge's bot lane.
And continuing to really curve these those Qs by the bomb around the minions.
Yeah, they're not easy to hit.
Now we're seeing a sieging technique on the bot side of Hickman High School, securing that pink ward in the bottom bush.
Oh, they're going
it's
for
safe.
it.
Requiem
Oh,
coming
so
down
much
as
damage
well.
with the
Nothing you can
Karthus
do about that,
Yeah.
but unfortunately Cookie picks up the kill there. Renee Tellman not giving the kill. And actually, Requiem didn't get an assist. Now more doesn't even get an assist from that.
Nope.
So
Died too soon.
doing too good, bot
I
lane.
know. Come on.
Slow it down.
The Dark Quacker chasing Kazuo.
Oh, the
just
phase rush
running
pop.
him
He was trying to
down.
run away. He just burned his cool.
Couple
He
more
won't have the
auto
life
attacks.
steal, the
There it
jump,
is.
and he's
And
dead. Things
they're
getting
able to get
turned
the
around
dive.
for Hickman High School. Shut down.
Yep. And just like that, Hickman is back in the lead as far as kills
Yeah, back in the
go.
lead in kills and in gold.
Yeah.
Up by 1,000. Fortunately
even-
for Lucian getting dove like that, not a lot you can do.
That's why Karthus is so scary, because even though he didn't get an assist for that, the mental pressure when that ult is up, it's like, do I go for this play?
You think you're winning, right? You're taking a 50-50 trade,
Exactly.
or you're taking a trade you think you're going to win, and then all of a sudden both you and your support lose.
Yeah.
30 of your health.
Right.
Wow, there's nothing you can do about it.
And that third is going to turn into close to a half, and then possibly even more as the game goes longer and Karthus builds more and more damage.
And the Zoe is only going to get stronger and stronger. Already at 109 farm.
Yep. Definitely out-CSing the lane opponent there.
Both 80 carries have secured their first item as well. Blade of the Room King.
Alejero going to pop a
Storm
plant.
Razor.
Try to get vision. They found where Skarner is.
Always important information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keeping track of the jungler, especially as Karthus, because you can be kind of vulnerable if you get invaded or 1v1. It's important to know where the enemy jungle.
Great tools, though, against Skarner. That
Oh,
Karthus
yep.
wall, boop,
Yep.
what do you do? Oh, the flank.
Oh.
Dark Quacker teleported behind the bot lane.
They're gonna
of
pick up at least
Rockbridge.
one, I think.
Disengage ultimate.
Oh, that big
Visually
hook!
Owl,
Wow.
and Renee Tellman with an incredible
That
hook,
hook was
onto the 80
insane.
carry, and double kill going over to Matthew Perkins. Dang, just as we said it, everything looking like it was going right for
Yeah.
Rockbridge.
Yeah.
Everything gets turned around.
Yeah, they bring Alejero and Dark Quacker down to the bot lane.
That's like that is the Dark Quacker, though. You push up, and all of a sudden he teleports behind you. Oh my, that's unfortunate. Not only that, I always expect when Dark Quacker's there, the mid laner and jungler are coming down as well.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
And Cookie's been having an amazing series as well, playing support like out of her mind. So
Yep, keeping her 80 carry alive this time around. These hooks
yeah.
on point.
Mm-hmm.
First turn of the game goes down. Hickman High School securing it in the bot side. Up now by 3,000 gold.
And he's just going to want to fight every single time. He's going to get those trades. He's going to just chase him through the pool.
You can't really run away,
Does
right?
so
And
much damage. And
that's
there's
just
the
Jack's
Karthus ult.
things.
Yep.
The Requiem comes
boom.
down. And now
Don't
one
even
picks
have
up a
to-
kill on the top side.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about when the fear that you have when the Karthus ult is possibly up. You can't really go for trades. If you start to get run down, you kind of have to expect that that's what's going to happen.
That's always a concern. And the gamble for Rockbridge, leaving these champions up. Luckily enough, the Zoe may have the lane pressure. Not really too scary. Unfortunately, the same can't be said of the Kaisa. Now 4-1-1. And the Jax as
there's
well.
some damage.
Up 2-1-3. Only up by 16 farm. But
Teleporting back to lane. I mean, like, we talked about this earlier, too, after last game, about how Rockbridge needs to try to stall the, taking of their first top turret for as long as possible. But against Jax, it's going to be extremely difficult.
yeah, the split push now is always a potential for Hickman.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, trying to find the engage. Here
Oh.
comes the Glacial Tomb trying to
Alejero
grab
might be
onto Alejero.
dead.
He cleanses, but does not cleanse the Impale.
Oh, he's...
Flash over the wall, and he might be out.
Yeah?
He might be out. Finds the
Oh,
time trouble bubble
wow.
onto Peter, by the way. Picks up the kill with the Battle Star. Here comes Leisurely Owl. He misses the ultimate, though. Alejero is out sitting safely behind his 80 carry and his support. Michael makes it up, but unfortunately for Rockbridge High School, he slips right out.
That bubble was real nice.
Not just that, avoiding the Braum ultimate.
Yeah, and being stunned up for so long there, cleansing all of that, I mean,
That's an air Drake, too.
yep.
Ooh, Zoe
Got to go fast.
in the hands of Alec James.
Yeah, I mean, they let it through, but they haven't been able to, do what they probably expected to do against it. Be able to shut it down.
Not able to punish it. For Hickman High School, right? You see the Lucian Braum. You know what they're going to try to do.
Yeah.
You just play safe. You just play safe.
Yep.
Bring pressure on the bot side. And for Rockbridge, they weren't able to overcome it. They found those kills early.
Yeah.
But we're starting to enter the game now. We're in the mid game. Things are tied up. They're not ahead at all anymore.
No.
But they didn't pull as far ahead as they probably would have liked to have with this comp.
Yeah, honestly, the Kaisen Alpha sitting 4-1 and 2 was able to make up that difference very quickly.
Secured both their upgrades on the Acacian Rain. Her E is going to be upgraded as well soon. So she will
block that
have that
Battlestar.
invisibility, which is real difficult for anyone to deal with. I don't like dealing with invisible champions.
No, that is not fun. Send Cookie up to the mid lane now.
Sighted on that
Clear
control
some
ward.
wards here. They might send, yeah, they're going to send almost everybody up to this mid lane. They want this turret. Wow. If that shield wasn't up, that would have been a dead Braum for sure. But doing a good job trying to slow down the pace of the game. Dark Quacker roaming around in this jungle here on the top side. They sent Wham Lab up.
17 minutes in. This is looking real tough.
Yeah, it's starting to get really hard for Rockbridge. They don't have a super good late scaling AD carry. I mean, the Vlad will continue to get strong, but here in the next 5-10 minutes, Lucian's going to be about at his power spike.
And my biggest concern, too, is the sieging potential that they have. You have Karthus, you have Zoe, you have the Nautilus as well, able to step up. And, of course, you can't forget the Jax, who will just be split pushing.
Yep.
If Hickman High School makes a decision to just siege and run down in the middle, what does Rockbridge do?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Ooh.
Okay, they
Dark
might be able to
Quacker
kill.
was on a
Dark
ward.
Quacker.
This 1v2 is
Big
going
ult
to really
coming
be a
through, though.
deciding factor. Requiem comes down, not an incredible amount of damage, but Dark Quacker landing.
Doing the damage.
It's just Dark
He's
Quacker
got the
things.
minions with him.
Just Dark Quacker things.
He had those 3 minions in the bush with him, helping him do damage
Yeah,
too.
honestly, nothing technical. It's like that's just difference in damage.
Yeah.
He wasn't even kiting. He's just sitting there.
No,
snacking,
he's just sitting there.
Not losing vision of the bush, and the Requiem didn't even deal that much damage.
Right.
That's a telltale sign that the turntables are not present.
Is this going to
today.
be the first Rift Herald that we've seen taken this series?
Actually, that's something that has been consistent. Rift Herald has been taken every single game in the playoffs, I think.
But not the last
no,
two.
Even the All-Star game. Remember the Rift Herald
All-Star
game 3?
Yeah.
Rift Herald was spawned in the middle of a tie game.
Yeah.
It just walks all the
Ended
way
the
down
game.
every single tower.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time that Rift
In
Herald
this
has
series,
been
correct.
taken this series, which I'm kind of surprised by.
How the turntables have not turned yet for Rockbridge, but
Unfortunately not.
But do we believe in the power of what do we got? What can we count on here? Friendship?
I mean, they need to believe in the power of Lucian being able to dodge everyone's abilities.
And I mean, they're not point and click really. Well, no, okay, I lied. Nautilus ultimate.
Nautilus ultimate is.
I guess Darkwalker jump and counter
Yeah.
strike's pretty point and click.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to stand way in the back, unfortunately. Karthus ult, he can't really dodge.
You can't dodge that. No, it's a lot of things to avoid as an AD carry. Hickman High School, though, on the brink of securing their first eSports championship in the Ukatsu High School Esports League.
Yep.
Rockbridge High School running away with both League of Legends in year one.
And
Overwatch.
They're using
Very
this Rift
close.
Herald in the
Rift
mid
Herald
lane.
spawned in the mid lane, one turret closer to a championship victory for the Cupies.
They do not want to get all-starred, so they're going to go ahead and try to
Stop
take
the
out
Rift
this
Herald.
Rift
No, we
Herald.
saw all-stars.
Oh, well, look how much damage.
Oh, the Requiem.
Oh,
We see, it
wow.
wasn't that much damage.
It
but-
wasn't that much, but it's so scary
still
because you
damage.
know
It's
that what else is coming.
And look, so little health, but still one more charge by the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they were able to get that off, which is really nice. They weren't able to get that inhibitor turret, but all the same, able to put up a lot of pressure. And here we go. They're just going to reset. They're going to grab that next dragon.
Oh, and chat reminded us, too. Technically, Rift Herald was contested last game, but
Yeah,
it
but
killed the
it-
Kane.
yeah.
That happened.
It won
Yep.
that battle.
Uh,
Was not successfully taken, but they tried.
third Drake of the game contested now by
Yeah,
Hickman High School.
Infernal.
Infernal Drake, the damage Drake.
Wow, those are some strong dragons right there.
Everything you could ask for.
Yes.
More damage, more movement speed, and more damage to structures and neutral monsters.
I think that they're probably going to start focusing on this Baron. They only need to clear a couple of wards, and then they should be free to get it, especially if they keep Dark Quacker here split pushing. They're going to have to send multiple members to stop him. Kind of forcing them into the impossible decision. You know, do we stop Dark Quacker or do we go for Baron?
Oh, Sanguine pull and Nope leg pop. Deals
wow, look at him
negative
go.
damage, but 3 members down. Dark Quacker has
Can
to
he get
hop
out, though?
away.
He's ignited.
I don't think he'll be able to.
There it
Flash and a
is.
shutdown, but isn't this reminiscent of what we saw in Game 1? You use 3 members to take down the Quacker, and down goes Baron.
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah, and that has to be a play that Hickman runs over and over.
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Scrims, practices other games. Like that happens
Well, it's so
all
hard.
the
Like,
time.
what do you choose? Do you just let Dark Quacker split push the whole lane and go try to contest Baron, or do you send multiple people to try to stop him?
Yeah, and see, when you have a split pushing comp, we talk about this all the time, especially like in our coaching sessions and everything. In split push comp, it's all about capitalizing and getting more than the other team.
Yes.
Right? You either have to match the one person and you stop them and you get more objectives out of it, or of course, if you're the split pushing team, you lose your split pusher, but you get the other objectives. And if you can't match them 1 for 1, you have to commit somewhere else.
Yeah, and losing Dark Quacker for 20 seconds or whatever it is for a Baron for the whole rest of your team.
Yeah, see, it very much so a losing situation there. They were trying to stop him outside their towers, so they can't capitalize off of any objectives on that side of the map. They were stealthing else up.
And that's kind of the problem that you run into when you don't draft with a carry or somebody that can match the split pusher.
Now, you have to commit then. You have to rely on your ability to team fight and to initiate fights. And they have those tools.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they maybe just responded to Dark Quacker without knowing or securing or having the vision of the Baron buff.
Right.
So they ended up losing that trade. That's the power of split pushing. You just demand pressure all over the map. You split them up and you force the enemy team to make an impossible decision.
Exactly. Alahara looking with those bubbles, but not able to find anything. But there's Dark Quacker again. Splitting bot. They're going to take this Baron in the mid lane. Running out of minions, but a new wave will be coming here in the next 20 seconds or so.
It's interesting that Zoe left all these other champions aside. Not a crazy impact from Zoe this game.
No, honestly not.
No crazy sleepy time, triple bubbles. No
we had that one
shot paddle stars
over by Raptors. But that's really it. But I mean, sometimes that's all you need is somebody that can play,
right?
yeah, or somebody that can play competently in their lane, even if they're not like constantly popping off, like we typically see Alahara do on Zoe. And there's the first inhibitor turret of the game.
Tower gone down as well. Is this maybe the end of the match as inhibitor drops? Baron buff still on multiple minions. Kaisa now chipping away.
Yeah, Rockbridge needs to mount
the Nexus tower.
A big defense right here. One last team fight if they can do it.
Again, Hickman High School denied the chance of victory, even competing in the finals last year, dropping in the semis to Battle High School. This year, coming back. First seed in the regular season. There goes the engage from Lamb Lab. Last effort of defense. But the Baron buff is too strong. Counter-Strike comes out, doesn't even land. Cookie picks up a kill there. Only a few members left of Rockbridge able to defend. And this, honestly, the victory lap right now for Hickman High School. Again, complete seniors.
The turret. Here
Last year denied, this year denied no longer. Down goes the Nexus in Game 3. Hickman High School, the home team, the seniors, secure their 3rd victory of the night and win the series, winning the 2nd district championship in the Ukatsu High School League.
Yeah, getting the trophy.
And honestly, you look at this. It was not the closest of series, not the hypest of moments. But for these two teams, for Hickman High School, this meant everything to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not being able to compete last year. Having to watch two different teams competing on their own stage in the district championships. All seniors on this roster.
Yeah.
This was the last chance they had at victory. And for all of them, they gave it everything they had.
Yeah, they played great today. I mean, their comps were drafted really, really well, and they executed everything that they wanted to do and needed to do in pretty much every game. I mean, they had very little mistakes made.
Very, very clean the entire way through. Well-deserved victory. Yeah. And honestly, when you're looking at it, this is the legacy that the QBs will be leaving behind. These seniors. They have a lot of young players underneath them. Have a lot of big weight to carry now. Right? Trophy going over now
They're
to
going to be the
other
defending
team.
champions.
Yeah, for Rockbridge, also a number of seniors on that team, but not walking away winless. You still have victories in both Overwatch, League of Legends the first season.
Oh, yeah.
And you still have members as well, 2 juniors on your squad that get to hold down the fort next year. So not all is lost going into this championship. In a 3-0 series, it is what it is. But the Cupies coming away again, as always, not dropping a single game in the postseason.
No.
Not only that, but the 3 games that this iteration of Hickman lost, they lost with a different roster.
Yeah.
They're having substitutes on board or whatnot. This iteration of Hickman High School, Dart Quacker, Michael Zoe, Elmore, Nathan Elmore, Alejero, Alec James, Go Subat, Matthew Perkins, and Cookie Renee Tellman. These 5 seniors have not dropped a game collectively as a team this entire season. Regular season, postseason.
That is
A very well-deserved victory as they host the trophy here in Hickman Auditorium tonight.
Yep.
And again, they get to go home. Their year's done. Their senior year, they get to go on and they get to do other things. But that's something that they'll always remember, and that's a testament of their efforts that'll forever be here at Hickman High School.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great series to watch, and Hickman walked away with it.
Yeah, and that's that. That concludes our series, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Ukatsu and the High School Esports League for League of Legends. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being a part of this and so much more. Every single year, we promise to get bigger, better than ever. And next year, or next spring, when we come back, Overwatch is right around the corner. So all those people who are still waiting, we got a whole another season coming.
Yeah, we'll see if
next year.
Rockbridge can turn it around into Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, they
keep the streak alive.
There's something to be said, again, is how competent and how scary of a team Rockbridge always is when it comes to any esports title. But this, though, does conclude our League of Legends season. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys missed our video earlier recapping the 2019 season, we'll have it live on our YouTube on Thursday, I believe. So that's when it's going to go up, as well as a couple of other highlights. I know you guys have been waiting for highlights throughout the entire season. Those will also be up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors as well, Hawthorne Bank, Veterans United, Armstrong, Teesdale, Columbia College, and Division D. This entire season has been incredible, and I know more than anything that it's an exciting finish to a well-deserved team who is going to go down in history, in Hickman High School history. So that's a very big deal. Thank you guys for being a part of it, and we'll see you guys next time.